You can measure the size of an elephant. You can clock the speed of a cheetah, but you can't quantify the heart of a kings, queens, and in-betweens. Welcome to Dr. Boxing Talk. Stream starts now.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
If I tell you I'm good, probably you will say I'm boasting. If I tell you I'm no good, you know one line.
Yo, 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 yo. What it do, what it do, what it do. Good, great, grand night to you wonderful, beautiful people. Friday night. Woo! Thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's every day that ends with Y. You're man. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, brethren and sisters, and ladies and lads, hermanos, mi hermanas, or amigos, mi amigas, homies and homettes, kings and queens, and everything in between. Y'all know what time it is. Doctor's in the house. We are here to cook up. We are here to cook up. If you're feeling down, you better look up, because the doc's here to cook up. You feel me? We got a lot of stuff to talk about, man. I ain't been here in a little while, man. I know. The job's been on my head top, on my back. You feel me? But we here, man. Shout out to my brother Dub. My brother, my partner in crime, man. Mr. WJ McCullough in the building. My brother STREETZ. What it do, man? Hey, STREETZ, I was thinking about you, man. That John Tiger news came out. I'm going to need you to fight back for your boy. Hey, them Ja fans, boy, they in trouble. They in their feelings. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to my brother STREETZ in the building. Mr. Anubis, my partner. Good to see you, Anubis, in here in the building like usual. Appreciate it, man. It's a good day when Anubis pulls up. Yes, sir. Before we get started, y'all know how we do, man. We go ahead and thank the Most High. If you indulge in the face, join in. If not, sit back, have a coconut smile. We'll be back with you shortly. So please join me, bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this blessing. Thank you for another day. Thank you for another night. Thank you for another opportunity to do right. We thank you for leading us towards the end of the week safely, hopefully in good health, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, and spiritually. We just ask that you keep us in good spirits no matter what we're going through. You know, a lot of us are going through some down times, but that don't mean we have to look down. We always look up to you, and know that you have the best plans ahead for us, and you have pulled us through difficult situations before. You're pulling us through difficult situations right now, and you're going to pull us through difficult situations in the future. But we have to remember that everything passes. Good times pass just like the bad times pass. So we don't want to get too high, too low. We just want to remain faithful and remain thankful and grateful that you are our Father. You'll take care of us. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. We got me a mono card now. You know what I'm saying? My PIC, my dog, Oscar Perez El Jefe in the building. Man, let's get right though, man. You know I gotta talk, man. How to talk about this nonsense. We gonna get straight into it. I'm not even gonna pull no punches. Let me pull it up real quick. Because something has been bothering me. Something has been bothering me. The way some of these cats been talking, like they was just Floyd Mayweather in their prime. They was just Cinnamon in his prime. They were Roberto Duran in his prime. They were Manny Pacquiao in their primes. You know what I'm saying? These people be talking like we don't have memories. They be talking like we don't have the footage. They be talking like we don't have box rec. So there was this guy. He's a current champion from the UK, one of our UK brethren and sister. Shout out to the UK. And you know me, I respect all the champions, right? But we gotta call it for what it is. Some of these cats be having participation trophies, and there's no draft in boxing, right? I was an undefeated amateur boxer. I guess I am an undefeated. I don't box anymore, but I didn't pick up boxing until I got into college, right? And I was a undefeated amateur boxer. Can I not talk boxing? Do I have to participate in boxing? But anyway, before I get to it, let's talk about it right here. We have WBA 130-pound champion Jazza Dickens. He had this to say on Twitter. He says, pundits / commentators of sports. Snooker, they have world champions. Football, they have World Cup participants. Tennis, they have Wimbledon champions. Boxing, people who've never threw a punch. For freak's sake, give the work to the fighters who deserve the position. Huh? Okay. I mean, that's fair. I think boxers should definitely get an opportunity, right? I'm not mad at this statement, but he said something like this before, right? And then Paul Smith, not Callum Smith, not Liam Smith, Paul Smith said, Jazza speaking facts. The ones who dislike it most are the ones it applies to. Anyone I'm watching speak on a sport knows as much as me if they've never done that sport. They're imagining, guessing, assuming what it's like. Ex-pros know they've done it. I want to listen to them. Meanwhile, Paul Smith talks on Talk Sport all the time, right? And I think Simon Jordan, who never boxed before, is the best one on there, whether it's because he knows, has experience personally, directly or indirectly, or the fact that he's just a good personality, right? And he has good takes and he doesn't beat around the bush. He goes straight for the tush. Pause. You see what I'm saying? He don't pull no punches. He treats Eddie Hearn the same as he treats Daniel Dubois most of the time. Of course, I don't like Simon Jordan all the time, but I like him, right? So, but before we keep going, I want to look up Jazza Dickens' record, right? Let's look up Jazza Dickens. I want to show you the guys who are saying this, right? Jazza Dickens has 5 losses. That's okay. It's okay to have 5 losses, but he has 5 losses. So a lot of guys you never heard of. Like, have you heard of Kid Galahad? We probably heard of him a little bit, but we don't know him like that. You see what I'm saying? He got knocked out by Hector Andres Sosa, another guy we might have seen before, but we don't know him like that. You see what I'm saying? And let's look at let's look at Paul Smith. Let's look at Paul Smith's record, right? Okay, let's look at Paul Smith, right? Oh, I'm about to go in. Oh, I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna go in. Like, I can't even find the gosh dang. Hold on. Let's just go to his Wikipedia there. You know what I'm saying? Because we know Callum Smith. We don't know much about Paul. But let's go, right? He has a loss to Tyrone Zug. He has a loss to Andre Ward, Arthur Abram twice. He lost to George Groves, lost to James DeGale. He lost to Stephen Bendel. He's never been a world champion, right? And that's okay. It's okay. You don't have to be a world champion. I respect it. I like when they talk boxing, right? But my point is this. Are you saying that you just have to be a boxer to talk boxing? Like, there's no draft in boxing. This is not like the NBA where you have to meet a certain standard to be a boxer. No disrespect to Jonathan Gonzalez El Mantequilla, but he has a body shaped like butter, and he went in there and got knocked out. There are cab drivers that are professional boxers. There are tomato cans that are professional boxers. There are people that go in there and get beat up the majority of the time so they could talk boxing. So if we're going to cut it off, should we cut it off at the fighters that were actually good? Because if we're cutting it off at good boxers, then Paul Smith wouldn't be able to talk boxing either. Some of the best commentators is Jim Lampley. Did Jim Lampley box? No. Did Al Bernstein box? I don't think so. If he did, it was before my time. So what I'm saying is that at some point you kind of sound contradictory, right? You sound like remember the stupid politicians. I think it was Megyn Kelly's dumb behind. I don't know what was her Megyn Kelly, but somebody said, "Oh, to the I think it was to LeBron said, shut up and dribble," implying that athletes can't talk about politics or you have to stick to what you know. At some point, you're going to sound like the opposite of them. You're saying that people can't give an opine because they never picked up gloves before. And your sport, you don't even have a draft. You could be anybody. As long as you pass a physical, you could be a boxer. Like there's nothing, there's literally no gatekeeping in boxing. So why are you gatekeeping who has an opinion on it? Especially if you're Jazza Dickens, who inherited the belt from Lamont Roach moving up. You didn't beat anybody to get that belt. You got the belt because Lamont Roach was stripped when he moved up to fight Aesop Pitbull Cruz. And you know what's even more indicative of you not being a great champion is the fact that Anthony Kakachi, who claimed he doesn't even like the belts, he suddenly targeted you because he sees you as food. He sees you as lunch. He sees you as a snack that has the belt. Anthony Kakachi just gave up his belt, so he did have to fight Sugar Nunez. And he claimed that he doesn't care about the belts. And he fought Leigh Wood. But suddenly the same guy, who I think is really soft anyway, he's turning around and fighting Jazza Dickens for the belt. Why do you think that is, Jazza Dickens? Because he sees you the way most of us see you, as a guy that we respect as a champion, because I respect you because you're a champion. That's why I saluted him for being a champion. I think he deserves it. But let's not talk like you were Roy Jones. You're not Roy Jones. You're not Tyson Fury. Like, why are we gatekeeping people who have an opinion on the sport? I absolutely agree with you that people should be, that the boxers should actually probably be prioritized as who speaks on boxing. Just like NFL players should probably be prioritized to speak on football. Basketball players should be prioritized to speak on basketball. But to make it seem like some of the best personalities and pundits aren't people that observe the sport, I feel like that's criminal and disingenuous at best. Stephen A. Smith is not a former athlete. Definitely not professional. Brian Windhorst never played basketball. His opinion is valuable. What about Shams Charania? He's not a former player, but his opinion on the game is important. Malika Andrews, right? I don't really like all of them that I named, but the fact is that you get credit for observing too. There's a place for people that record. I want to tell you how dumb this is, right? It's like somebody saying, "Oh, you're not an author, so you can't critique a book." Huh? You're not a director, so you can't critique a movie. Huh? You're not a chef, so you can't say if food is good or not. You're not a thespian, so you can't critique an actor or actress. What? You're not an engineer, so you can't tell me about a car, if a car is good or not. That's how dumb you sound. But it's so funny. The funnier thing is that Jazza Dickens is and people like this, they're responding like this because probably somebody called them out about not being a great boxer. But if somebody who's not a boxer said that, "Oh, Jazza Dickens is a great boxer," then I bet you he would have no problem with them. Ain't that crazy? So I just think it's funny, you know. But anyway, I do agree that boxers should get prioritized. You know what I'm saying? There's some great boxers out there that turn into great personalities and provide great color commentary. But there's also some boxers that say some silly stuff too, right? Do you agree with everything Gary Anton Russell says? Probably not, if you listen to him enough. Do you agree with everything Ryan Garcia says? Ryan Garcia says Triple G shouldn't even be in the Hall of Fame. Do you agree with that because Ryan Garcia is a boxer? It doesn't matter that he's a cheater. It doesn't matter he's a PED popper. It doesn't matter that he's a weight bully. It doesn't matter he's a racist. Oh, but because he boxed, that means he knows everything about boxing. That's interesting, right? So every boxer's voice is valuable when it comes to, and accurate when it comes to the sport of boxing. That's what I be talking about, man. It's just silliness. At some point, you sound as dumb as the people that say "shut up and dribble." Like, people, if you're good at something and you observe something for a while, then that is valuable as well. That doesn't mean that it replaces the experience that you have in the ring. No, but it does mean that you could know about the sport. For example, I'm about to talk about Shakur Stevenson and him being stripped. I could tell you exactly what rule in the WBC rule book justifies him being stripped. I don't agree with it. But if you go to chapter 7, section 3B, it tells you that if you fight in a match, even if your belt is not on the line as a WBC champion, they can tax you. Go look it up. Literally does. So they are justified. But I feel like the way they did it was wrong. We're going to get into that later. Shout out to my brother Oscar Perez dropping that bread. Oh, hold on. He dropped a 20 piece on me. Shout out to my brother coming through like a boss. Man, shout out to you, man. My brother dropped the 20 piece on your boy, man. 20 piece in a bucket of chicken, you feel me? The 20 piece bucket of chicken with the biscuits, you feel me? So, I just think it's, shout out to my brother Oscar, man. Thank you so much, man. He said, start it off right. We got to start it off right, my brother. I appreciate you, man. You always do hold me down. Yeah, man, I appreciate your support and most importantly, your brotherhood, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that, mi hermano. Yes, sir. Thank you so much for that, man. Toledo Tri says, Jazza Dickens might get stopped. Might? Oh, he get it stopped, silly. You know he gets stopped, man. That's just to be nice. Yeah, Geechee got him up out of there, man. They had him in the snow, man. Out there with Trees. They caught him in Ohio, didn't they? Man, they pulled over my boy Geechee got it. But you got to do right, man. You can't be out here sloughing in the snow. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, but he gone. He gone. Hopefully he get a good deal and get some good lawyers. Oscar says, Jazza gatekeepers say the only ones able to speak are legends is like Ryan talking about champions. Right. You ain't never going to be one. Sit down. Right. That's what I'm saying. So it's like, I agree with him that there should be some space allocated for former participants, but don't make it seem like you're more than a participant. And shout out to Jazza Dickens. He's more accomplished than Paul Smith. Right. But Paul Smith he's talking like he's Devin Haney or Shakur or Teofimo or Vasily Lomachenko or, you see what I'm saying? No, bro. You like, if you could talk about boxing, you just participated, bro. Let's be real. You lost to Arthur Abrams. You lost to Andre Ward. You lost to people that we haven't heard of and people we heard of. It's like Gabriel Rosado. People call Gabriel Rosado a warrior because he got beat up 17 times. I like Gabriel Rosado, but I didn't like the way Gabriel Rosado came at Devin Haney. Like, you can't be a glorified participant and talk trash to a guy who was the youngest undisputed champion in the 4-belt era on the male side. You can't make it seem like he's done nothing. You see what I'm saying? And I respect Cambosas, right? I respect people that they call bums and stuff like that, but we're not gonna make it seem like boxing is a sport where you have to qualify. All you have to do is pass a physical and you can become a boxer. So you can't even really gatekeep boxing because there is no gatekeeping. Like I said, once again, it's not like the MLB where you get drafted. You don't go to college and have to qualify. You don't have to make a high school basketball team, then a college basketball team, then get drafted to the NBA. No, bro. All I have to do is pass a physical and I could go box tomorrow. Am I lying, Trees? Al Booger, am I lying? Dub, am I lying? Oscar, am I lying? So why are you... There's not even there's no gatekeeping as a participant in the sport. So why are you trying to gatekeep who could speak about the sport? Now, like I said, be respectful. I'm not talking about the people that are disrespectful and ridiculous with their critiques. Like they make it seem like people done nothing. I agree with that. Some people they violate. You know what I'm saying? They violate, get too egregious with it, and talk about it all willy-nilly, But to make it seem like, in order to know about the sport, you can't just watch it, or you can't, bro. You could do a lot of things. Like you could critique video games and don't have to be a video game creator. You see what I'm saying? Like it's just nonsense, I think and people only say that when they disagree with their opinions. Like as much as stupid as I think Ryan is, I mean that's his opinion. If he thinks Triple G's not a Hall of Famer, that's his opinion. You see what I'm saying? But he's a boxer, so does that make it right because he can't say anything retarded because he participated in boxing? That's nonsense. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, to each his own. I just wanted to shed some light on that to get my opinion on that. I do agree with him that some people shouldn't talk about it in the manner in which they do. But every sport has people that contribute to the sport that never participated in the sport. And I will argue that a lot of the most famous commentators and the people that are most famous for being knowledgeable and enthusiasts of that sport, a lot of times they're not participants, right? You see what I'm saying? So yeah, they may not be able to give the experience, but there's something that's important for record keeping. Do you think that the soldiers in the war were the ones writing the stories of the war? No, they weren't the ones that were recording. They were the ones that were fighting in it. Do you think the generals were the ones that were recording the events that transpired in history? No, it's the people that witnessed it. That's why people go out there and report on things live in the field. You see what I'm saying? So to make it seem like observing it is like, that's like, oh, do the best coaches in basketball have to be, are they all players? Some of them are players, like Phil Jackson played, right? He wasn't great, but he played. Steve Kerr played, right? He wasn't great, but he played, right? Did Tom Thibodeau play? No. He just went to the finals, or Eastern Conference Finals last year, didn't he? Okay. I don't think Tom Thibodeau played, but he's still a hell of a coach. So it's just stupid, man. You see what I'm saying? It's just nonsense. Shout out to my sister from another mister. We got Smoochie in the building. One time for the ladies. We got my brother Al Booger in the building. Yes, sir. Hey, Lee Gabe out. My bad, Al Booger. My bad. We got George the Last Dragon Board in the building. My bad. I apologize. But let's move on, man. Let's move on. I want to talk about we had enough talking about those goofballs with their silly behind opinions, you know. And you know what's crazy? You know the opinion was crazy if I agree with Mike Coppinger. You know, I think Mike Coppinger is a serpent face peanut head goofball too, but I think he's right. It's like, you know, because he said something about Jazzy Dick's silly behind opinion. No, but let's go back to Gabe. Let's talk about Gabe Rosado though. Like I said, I like Gabe Rosado, but people act like he only lost to great fighters. No, he has like 17 L's. He lost to people that we never heard of too. But it's so funny that the same people who call Gabe Rosado a warrior will say that Anthony Yard is not good because he loses at the highest level. Anthony Yard lost to Lyndon Arthur. He avenged that loss twice, right? He beat him twice. He lost to David Benavidez, and he lost to Beterbiev, and he lost to Kovalev. Those are all world champions. Gabriel Rosado lost to people we never heard of. And I'm an avid watcher of boxing. I cannot tell you all 17 losses of his. Don't make it seem like all of his 17 losses were Hall of Famers. No, they weren't. You know what I'm saying? Maybe like 5 of them were, but the rest of them were poo-putts. You see what I'm saying? So it's just crazy how people will knock somebody for one thing and then celebrate somebody for something else. Anthony Yard, if Gabriel Rosado's a warrior, Anthony Yard is a super warrior. He's a gosh dang demolition man. He's a Terminator. You see what I'm saying? He hasn't won at the highest level, but he's definitely a contender. You can argue Gabriel Rosado's never really been a contender, but we pick and choose. You see what I'm saying? Same people, like, and then also too, like that Paul Smith guy, right? He calls Daniel Dubois a quitter. Well, while Daniel Dubois was a quitter, he became an IBF world champion. How come you couldn't quit your way to a championship? Things that make you go, Okay. Does every former boxer get the predictions right? No, it's predictions. You know, some of these former fighters don't even want to predict because they too scared of getting it wrong. You know, it's cowardice and stuff like that. A lot of people do that, but anyway. But yeah, it's just funny how we talk about certain things and call certain things and accept others. Shout out to Oscar. He said, "Dang, the Miracle Man Jacobs is the one who lost to great fighters at the highest level, not Gabriel Rosado." Come on now, Danny, the Miracle Man Jacobs. Right, facts. Oster in the building, my brother. He said Gabriel lost to Shea Mosley Jr. for Christ's sake. And that's what I'm saying. I like Gabriel Rosado, but I just didn't like the way he was fabricating lies when it came to the Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia situation. Even when he lied about Miguel Cotto. I like Miguel Cotto. He's one of my favorite fighters, but he said Miguel Cotto was roaring. This is already said verbatim. He was roaring for the Margarito rematch. What the freak were you watching? You see, and this is why people that weren't in the sport are important, because they take accurate history and jot down proper documentation. I was alive for that. I don't remember Miguel Cotto roaring for the rematch, but I do remember Miguel Cotto denying the rematch. I do remember Bob Arum wanting the rematch. I do remember Antonio Margarito wanting the rematch. And I do remember Miguel Cotto saying no. And I don't blame him. You get cheated, it's up to you. But don't try to shit on Devin Haney and see like, oh, if a guy cheated you want to get it back like Miguel Cotto. Miguel Cotto did not want to get it back. That's why the rematch took 3 years. Miguel Cotto said that not only should Margarito never box in America again, he shouldn't box in boxing at all in the world again. And he said he wouldn't share the ring with a cheater. That's what he said. The only reason why he did the rematch was because, number one, Sugar Shea Mosley got to him and beat on Margarito's head top. And number two, he got offered a boatload of cash. And like I said, I'm still not mad at Miguel Cotto. I thought he probably should never fought him again. But shout out to him for wanting to get it back. But do not blatantly lie to people and say, oh, Miguel Cotto wanted the rematch as soon as he lost. No, he did not. it was the contrary. He did not want the rematch, but he was only saying that to try to knock Devin Haney and say that, oh, Devin Haney's weak for suing Ryan Garcia and thinking about not fighting him again or not getting it back immediately. It's like, bro, don't lie to the people, bro. You know, I remember, I have a good memory, and then there's documented that Miguel Cotto, he said himself, he did not want to fight Margarito again, and I don't blame him. But you try to shit on somebody else with fabricated stories, it's crazy. You see what I'm saying? And he's a boxer who got the story wrong. Huh? How's that, Paul Smith and Jazza Dickens? Dummies. But anyway, let's keep it going, man. We got my brother Tay in the building. What's good? Oscar Perez said, I guess losing to one of the most dominant fighters of this era makes you have no heart. Right. The UK turned their backs on Triple D. Right. Right. Triple D versus Fabio Worley. That fight's going to be fire. Oh, Triple D, Dynamite Dubois versus Fabio Worley. That's going to be a banger. I don't know who I'm going with, man. That's a tough one right there. Shout out to both of them. Oscar said, Cotto sued the F out of WBC. Come on now. He didn't want Margarito to fight anywhere. Come on now. And I'm not, like I said, I want to reemphasize, Cotto's one of my favorite fighters. I don't mind that, but don't try to make it a twist of story. And on top of that, shout out to my brother Oscar. I think Margarito cheated him, but Margarito was never found guilty of cheating Cotto. Oscar says also Margarito was yeah, exactly what Oscar just said. Margarito was only proven to cheat Mosley. I think he cheated Cotto as well. I think he cheated even going all the way back to Paul Williams, the Puncher Williams, and Sergio Martinez, right? But he was only caught cheating Sugar Shane Mosley by the late great Nazim Richardson. He was never caught or proven guilty of cheating Miguel Cotto. These are just facts. Don't twist it up. Don't lie, man. Tell the story accurately. If you're gonna repeat it, shout out to Treese. He said Devin should have never fought Ryan to begin with. I ain't gonna lie. I was sitting pretty because I put my money on Ryan, but I was wrong because the man cheated. But let's go to Devin Haney and right now. Let's make that transition to Devin Haney. Devin Haney has called out Xander Zayas. You know I rock with Xander Zayas, man. But because Xander Zayas, he gave me, he respects my platform by coming on it, even though I'm not a professional fighter. I shared the ring and shared the gym with Tavares Thundercloud, who was a light heavyweight champion back in the day. But I'm not a professional boxer, so I don't know if I could spend time talking about boxing. However, Xander Zayas, who's a current WBO, WBA junior middleweight champion, the Puerto Rican American to be exact, he recognized my platform. He rocked with me. He gave me an interview, right? Shout out to the former WBA champion, Abbas Barraou, out of Togo, the Togolese German, right? He gave me some time, right? He pulled up on the channel. He respects my platform. You see what I'm saying? But they're probably why would they talk to me? I don't know nothing about boxing. You know what I'm saying? Why would they waste their time? We're not valuable. We shouldn't talk about boxing if we never did it, right? Fucking bum. Shout out to Xander Zayas, shout out to Abbas Barraou, shout out to George Jakovic right there. He's the one that had a hand into one of the best boxing documentaries or what you call a docu-series, I guess, when he did HBO 24/7s. Yeah, that was George Jakovic who contributed to that. You see what I'm saying? So there's places for historians and people to record and speak on the sport, just like there's places for people to talk about the sport. You see what I'm saying? And participate in the sport. But Xander Zayas, man, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I will say this. I would lean towards Xander Zayas because I think Xander Zayas is one of the best at 154. It's a deep division. He has to prove it. He's young, and I still think he's developing. But I will say this, though, man. I might have to go with Devin Haney. Hear me out. I would have to go with Devin Haney because I trust in Bill, man. Bill Haney, man. That dude got some good matchmaking skills, bro. Like, I went against Bill Haney, and I picked Brian Norman to beat Devin. I was wrong. Unlike people, I give Devin Haney all the credit for beating Brian Norman Jr., right? Brian Norman Jr. was knocking heads off, literally knocking people into a coma, right? And wiping their memory, giving them involuntary amnesia. Well, I don't know why you would have voluntary amnesia, but he was wiping people's memories, right? Devin Haney beat him. I picked against Bill Haney when I picked Cinnamon to beat Bud. I picked Cinnamon to beat Bud. I was wrong. Bill Haney told me he was right on that one. And the only time I was right when I picked against Devin Haney was when I picked Ryan Garcia. But then that turned out to be wrong because Ryan Garcia cheated. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that I'm not saying this to knock. I'm going to say it again. I'm not saying this to knock Bill Haney or Devin Haney, but I feel like they're very selective on who they fight. Now, I know most fighters are, so I'm not saying that to knock them. Like I said, most fighters are, right? That's how boxing goes, matchmaking. But, I think that I was impressed when Devin beat Lomachenko, right? You know what I'm saying? Even though it was after Teofimo, I was still impressed, right? I was impressed with Devin Haney beating Brian Norman Jr. I'm impressed, right? I was even impressed with Jose Carlos Ramirez. It wasn't the best fight, but we knew that Devin Haney had a weak chin or whatever. That's what they said, right? But, Robert Garcia was in Jose Carlos Ramirez's corner, and Jose Carlos Ramirez is a former unified champion, former Olympian, and they couldn't really touch him. So I was impressed the way that he was able to, despite coming off of being cheated, he was able to bounce back and essentially wash Jose Carlos Ramirez. So I was impressed by that. But as far as people goes, I would be honest, I wasn't necessarily impressed with George Kambosos, but the fact that George Kambosos beat Teofimo and then Devin Haney beat George Kambosos, I had to be impressed. So I am impressed with that. You see what I'm saying? And I respect George Kambosos, unlike most. So, but what I'm saying is that Devin Haney, a lot of times the way he moves, unless he fights like a Tank or a Shakur or even Teofimo, not Teofimo now after Shakur smoked him, but like a Teofimo, then it seems like he has the advantage somewhere for most people. For me, I give him full credit for Brian Norman. Xander Zayas, if he beats Xander Zayas, I would give him full credit, but I'm telling you that I would think that, Bill Haney doing his thing because he must see something, because I don't think Devin Haney would call out Xander Zayas at 154. Like, there's a reason why he wouldn't call out Boots at 154 or Virgil. Not saying he wouldn't fight Virgil or Boots or who else at 154 or Bakram or somebody like that. But the fact that they're targeting Xander Zayas, I trust Bill Haney. Bill Haney must see something, you know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, man, I just wouldn't really go against Bill and Devin again. However, I don't know who would win that fight, but right now, if the fight was announced today, I would lean towards Xander. But just because I don't know how Devin Haney would look at 154, and Xander's a unified champion. But I don't know if I put money on that thing, Oscar. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if I put money on that thing, bro. I don't know. Yeah, Bill Haney is absolutely fire. I'm telling you, man. He says Xander's looking or in a good path to represent boxing as a whole. Yeah, I think Xander, Xander, I like Xander a lot, man. Shakur is a boxing technique genius. Yep. But when it comes to boxing history, he's out of his depth. Right. Exactly, George. Saying Ali is a GOAT and then calling that man that Ali based his footwork off of buns. Yeah, he called Sugar Ray Robinson. Who is he talking about? George is talking about the time when Shakur called Sugar Ray Robinson buns. He's a boxer. So, but I mean, I guess we can only take the boxer's word for it, right? But I do understand boxers should be prioritized. Right? But I will be honest, the people that I love listening to Roy Jones. I love listening to Teddy Atlas. But I also used to love listening to Max Kellerman. Max Kellerman been tripping lately, but Max Kellerman's one of my favorite, right? I used to love listening to Jim Lampley too. You see what I'm saying? But and like George just said, like I told you, Ryan Garcia said that Triple G is not a Hall of Famer. Shakur said that Sugar Ray Robinson is buns. So we're talking about, we're all human. We're sharing our opinions and stuff like that. I don't think that anybody should be disqualified. Now, I do think that people should be more respectful, and that's why you hear me. I respect all the champions, from Oscar Collazo to Carolyn Dubois to Alexander Usyk to Clarissa Shields. I respect all the champions and the fighters, but at the same time, too, we are going to give our opinions. Some are going to be more aggressive than others and more egregious than others, but I don't know. Tree said Devin would win. Yeah. Oscar said, nah. People told me in this chat, Kelly box Baccarat, beautiful to say feeling. Yep. Devin versus Ramirez is a great performance. I agree with that. Yeah. People say Josh Kelly was fighting beautifully, and they say Devin Haney was running and all that stuff. And I think they fought similar, but I will say Josh Kelly did look dominant in that fight at times, and then Bakram swung the momentum back in his favor. He looked dominant at times. So I don't know. I thought that was a great fight. But yeah, I think that Haney, if he fights Xander and he wins, he should get all the credit. He should get all the credit. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Xander, wants to fight Josh Kelly, and he should. I think you should take care of your business in your division. However, I will say this too, which I'm going to talk about with Shakur. We're about to transition to. I think that Devin Haney, I'm going to be honest, I don't blame Devin for wanting to go for Xander. There's not much at 147. You could call it what you want, say what you want. I don't think this is a bad idea, because Devin Haney, you got to think how people do. Like, if they didn't give him credit for Brian Norman Jr., you think they're going to give Devin Haney credit for beating the IBF champion Lewis Crocker? No, they're not. if Devin Haney beats who else? The winner of if Mario Barrios for the WBC beats Ryan Garcia, you think they'll give him credit for beating Mario Barrios? No, they won't. Not if they didn't give him credit for Devin Haney. I mean, for Brian Norman. If he fights Rolly Romero, the WBA champion, you think they'll give him credit for that? No, they won't. So I think that this divisionless boxing for the superstars or stars, I don't know about superstars, but the stars is kind of justified right now because let's look at Shakur, right? Shakur, I don't like Shakur talking about he gonna fight Conor Benn, and Conor Benn should be ashamed of himself anyway. And I mean, we're acting like Conor Benn's a star. He's never been a champion, right? And talking about Shakur saying he's gonna fight Ryan Garcia, I don't like those fights. But we have to be honest. If Shakur, people didn't give Shakur credit for beating William Zepeda. William Zepeda was the undisputed mandatory, right? He was a #1 in WBC, #1 WBA, #1 WBO, #1 IBF, all simultaneously. People didn't give him credit for that. A lot of people picked Zepeda to beat Shakur, and they still didn't give Shakur credit for that, right? So he didn't get credit for that, and then now people aren't giving Shakur credit for beating Teofimo. I critiqued the performance. I said that it wasn't like a exciting fight, but I was impressed with the victory. I said that it was a great victory. It's Teofimo, both in their primes, right? And he was the Ring Magazine WBO champion, longest reigning champion in the 140-pound division. I give him credit for that. But some people are saying, oh, Teofimo wasn't the same or he's washed. So you're telling me he won't get credit for, people didn't give him credit for Zepeda. People didn't give him credit for moving up and beating Teofimo. But you're going to tell me that you'll give him credit for beating the young, fresh meat WBO champion Abdullah Mason at 135? No, you won't. You telling me you're gonna give him credit for beating the IBF young Raymond Murataya at 135? No, you won't. You're telling me you're gonna give him credit for beating who's the other champion? Was it who's the WBA champion? Oh yeah, it's Tank. So Tank's the champion in recess. There is no champion there. So if he beats Floyd Schofield or Lucas Body, who are highly ranked in the WBA, with President Gilberto Mendoza at 135, you're gonna give him credit for that? No. So I think right now, especially with Tank's absence, I think Shakur should float around. Should he float around and fight Conor Benn? I mean, that's a big name fight because he has the UK behind him. But I don't like that fight. I think that fight is trash because I think Conor Benn is trash.
Know your fucking place, trash.
But I mean, I'm not mad at Shakur Stevenson floating around and just fighting guys because he already beat Teofimo. His legacy is pretty solid. I'm not gonna say it's set, but it's pretty solid. It's pretty solid, right? He could fight. He beat Zepeda. He beat Oscar Valdez. He beat Jamel Herring. He beat what's the dude, Teofimo Lopez. I mean, there's nobody that you would really be impressed with him beating, let's be honest. So unless Gervonta comes back. So I think that Devin Haney and Shakur should kind of float around right now. Like I said, I'm not saying that I like it, but I would love, you know me, I would love for Shakur to fight Raymond Murataya. I'm talking about the masses. I give him credit for being Teofimo. I would give him credit for beating Raymond Murataya. I love unifications. I'm talking about the masses. They're not going to give him credit for that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother Tufo in the building. Shout out to you, my brother. Big member in the building. What's good, my brother? Yes, sir. Spam those GTD chains in the chat. You heard, man? He said, also said, I think Devin loses that fight with Xander. Yeah, man, I think so. He said, Devin don't fight people taller than him. I think Ryan is a little taller. Yep. He said, that's the only reason why I'll bet on Xander. Oh, I wouldn't bet, though. I wouldn't bet. As of now, I'm going with Xander. Now fight time. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. But, you know, I think Xander would be a little bit too much. But I don't know. I'm not sure. Average someone in the building, big member in the building. He said, man, I just missed it. Average says something. I just lost his chat. My bad. Oh, he said, at this point, if you ain't giving credit to Haney and Shakur, you're a hater. I agree. I think that's just hating. But it is what it is. He would have gotten credit for that Raymond Rush. You think so? I don't think so, Treese. I think you would have given him credit. I would have given him credit. I don't think people would give him credit. You got to, like, nah, I don't think so. Bro. No, nobody really knows Murataya. Like, a lot of people just got hip to Murataya when he fought Andy Cruz, and they were picking Andy Cruz. I picked Raymond Murataya to beat Andy Cruz, and I was right, but that was a close fight. Let's face it, Raymond Murataya's best win outside of Andy Cruz is who? Maybe Tevin Farmer, and that was a close fight, right? Or Zaur Abduliev, something like that. But yeah, I don't think they would give him credit. But yeah, we'll see. Lucas Body is gonna beat on my guy. Is gonna get is gonna get beat on by my guy Albert Bell. Okay, we'll see, man. Lucas Body got that maple syrup power out of Canada. You know what I'm saying? Lucas Body fighting the IBF title eliminator. Oh yeah. Ooh, I didn't know that. I thought they were trying to set up something with him and Schofield for that WBA. But yeah, man. So let's move on. I think Shakur should move around right now, float around, because I personally don't believe that there's anybody that people will be impressed with. But I hope he goes back down to 135, and I hope we eventually get that Gervonta Davis fight. You know, I still haven't given up hope, but I wouldn't be mad if they never fight. But I would still like that fight for it to happen. But I don't think the biggest fight for Shakur is at 135 right now. I don't think Abdullah Mason or Raymond Morataya or the emerging champion for the WBA is the biggest fight for him. I think, unfortunately, I do think Conor Benn and Ryan Garcia, if Ryan Garcia beats Barrios, would be a bigger fight. You know, I don't like it, but yeah. Now let's move on to Shakur. Let's keep it all Shakur, right? I've been wanting to drop this video for a while, but I've just been so busy, man. Unfortunately, I've been so busy. Well, it's good why I've been busy, but so I seen a lot of people saying that Shakur was done dirty by being stripped by the WBC and President Mauricio Sulaiman. I'm not going to defend Mauricio Sulaiman, but I will say this. It is justified, right? Do I think it's right? No, because if Shakur was stripped like that, then a lot of people should have been stripped, right? A lot of people should have been stripped, including one of my favorite fighters in Cinnamon, right? But it's not the same situation as Terrence Crawford. A lot of people are comparing the two because Shakur and Terrence Crawford are cool. It's not the same situation, not even close, because Shakur Stevenson, Terrence Bud Crawford, with his situation, the WBC wanted more money than the other sanctioned bodies, more money than they originally agreed to. So it was greedy, right? That's different than what Shakur did. Shakur moved up to another division and fought a fight against a fighter where his belt was not on the line while he remained the WBC champion. And I want to show you something right here. Let me show you something, right? It says, this is WBC rules. It says payment, procedures, and obligations of boxers. Yes, I know. I'm a nerd like that, yes. But hey, I have my PhD, you know what I'm saying? I be in the books. So when I'm into something, I'm into it. It says payment. I told you I'll be really reading the rule book. So it said payment, procedures, and obligations of boxers. Any boxer participation in any WBC bout is hereby obligated as follows. Let's skip section A. Let's go to section B. It says, in the event that a WBC champion competes in any bout, not a bout, any bout in which his WBC title is not at stake. Let me say that again. His WBC title is not at stake. The champion is obligated. Let me say that again. He's obligated, meaning it's obligatory, that he or she pays to the WBC 50% of the WBC sanctioning fee, payable as if the bout were a title defense, in view of the market value brought to the bout as a result of his standing attained as a WBC champion. So I see a lot of people speaking on this situation and they're not being accurate, you know, and maybe that's just the geek in me, the nerd in me, or whatever, but I think it's just the honest person in me, the truth seeker in me, the intelligent being of me. No one's perfect, no one's going to be always right, but you should try to be, right? And so I do my research, you feel me? I was a research scientist, and that's not hard to find. So it tells you blatantly that he owed the money even though his belt wasn't at stake. A lot of people are saying, oh, he didn't even fight for the WBC belt. His belt wasn't at stake, so he doesn't owe the money. No, he was the active champion. Now, so we covered the part where Mauricio is justified to strip him per the rules, but this is the part where I disagree with the stripping, right? Well, because they have so many rules and they have so many clauses for rules that can be changed when they see fit. So that's how they get out of enforcing and not enforcing their rules as they see fit. You see what I'm saying? And not only that, Shakur Stevenson was supposed to have a certain amount of days. I think it was 15 off the top of my head, 14, like 2 weeks. Like, I don't know, it's 14 or 15 days to where he has an opportunity to pay that fee. If you know, he got stripped. It was like 6 days after he beat Teofimo. So they didn't give him an adequate amount of time to even respond to the money that they said he owed. That's number one. Number two, it is in the rules, but you can't expect the fighters to read the rule books. Now, the fighters should have representatives and promoters and managers that read the rule books and stuff on their behalf. But the WBC and President Mauricio Solomon or their representatives should alert or notify Shakur Stevenson and give him time to respond. That doesn't mean that he would have responded in kind, but they didn't allow that 15-day window to happen. You see what I'm saying? To occur. So that's why I think they're wrong, number one. Number two, I also think they're wrong because, you know, my boy Cinnamon, they didn't really enforce the rules with him, right? With Cinnamon, when he had the belt, they gave him a lot of exceptions, right? So it doesn't seem, there's no fairness there. And also, who's also fighting for a belt, right? That's, well, who's also fighting in a new division where their belt is not at stake. That would be David Benavidez. David Benavidez is a light heavyweight 175 WBC champion, right? He's fighting in May, good Lord willing, Cinco de Mayo against Mexican unified WBA, WBO cruiserweight champion Zurdo Ramirez. Let's see what they do with David Benavidez. If they strip the American David Benavidez, then we can't really complain too much. But I don't think they're going to strip him, number one. Number two, I don't think that David Benavidez won't pay them. I think he might pay them anyway because seem like they have a good relationship. But what I'm saying is that we need to accurately talk about these things. Was the WBC wrong in my opinion? Yeah, they were wrong for how they handled it. But also, were they justified to strip him? Yeah, because he didn't pay the fees. Like a lot of people are saying, oh, because the belt wasn't on the line, they're just being greedy. Shakur just paid you his last fight against Zepeda. None of that matters, right? It doesn't matter that he just paid them when he fought Zepeda. He had another fight. So if you don't pay them per rules, then you have to give up the belt. Like I said, I don't think Shakur should keep the belt. I think Shakur should drop the belt. You see what I'm saying? But we have to be honest and accurate about how we report things, or at least we do over here. That's what I do. So were they justified per the rules? Yeah. Did they do it right? Did they follow all their bylaws and give him the appropriate amount of days? Did they let the time period transpire for him to respond? No, they didn't give him enough time. So I do think that he could probably file a motion, you know, for unfairness, you know what I'm saying? But they do have it in the rule books. We have to say that too. These sanctioned bodies have too much power. I agree. Shout out to my brother George, the last Dragon Board, dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter. These sanctioned bodies have way too much power. I agree with that. So I don't think that Shakur should have been stripped. Once again, I don't think he should have been stripped. But I see a lot of people saying like, oh, it came out of nowhere. Oh, you know, they're just being greedy. Of course they're being greedy. That's number one. It's Mauricio Solomon. Of course he's being greedy. So yeah, with that interview with him and Chris Mannix and some other ones, he's definitely being greedy. I don't know what he talking about or who he trying to lie to, but they're definitely greedy. But it is in the rule book too. You got to acknowledge that. Yes, sir, Oster. I'm going to let y'all call in. Oster said Mauricio played himself with that interview. I did a video on that interview. Mauricio is a discriminative bastard for real. Yeah, I agree. He's not fair at all. It was not fair, but, you know, it was justified. Oster says Shakur's best move in Oster's unpopular opinion. Hey, is to fight Dalton Smith. International fans, I agree. Money, a belt, and unification. That's a good move for Dalton. I agree. I think that Dalton would be probably the best fight because it's in the UK. He has UK backing. It will be unification, especially he just lost the WBC belt. He'll be the Ring Magazine WBO champion going against the WBC champion. He'll still have to work with Mauricio Solomon. I don't know how enthused he would be about that because Dalton Smith is a WBC belt holder. But outside of that, I think that's a bigger fight. I mean, no disrespect to the winner of Gary Anton Russell and Andy Hiroka for the WBA belt at 140. I think that I would like the Shakur versus the winner of that fight more than Dalton Smith. But as far as what has a more global appeal, I think the Shakur versus Dalton would be bigger. I also think, who's the other champion? Richardson Hitchens. Hey, Richardson Hitchens and Shakur would be big domestically too, but I still think Dalton Smith versus Shakur would be bigger than that. But I would rather see Shakur, Richardson Hitchens, or Shakur versus the winner of Dalton Smith, Gary Anton Russell and Andy Hiroka. But I would love the Dalton Smith one too. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He said, sanctioned bodies are nobody. Boxers just love trophies, belts, etc. If all boxers say F the belts, sanctioned bodies would be gone. Yeah, I agree. However, I will say this, though. I agree, but I disagree. Because what you just said, Oster, in my opinion, that is applicable for the big boxers. How do a lot of fighters get big though? Outside of, yeah, really, I mean, I can't really say outside of anybody. The majority of boxers that don't have, like, they're not the son of Fernando Vargas, or they're not the son of Sugar Shane Mosley. You know, a lot of them get big because of the belts. You feel me? So they are a necessary evil. Because, for example, Jazza Dickens, why do you think people, like, I just talked about Jazza Dickens at the front end of the stream, right? When he's saying, oh, you know, boxers should be allowed to talk about boxing and everybody else really shouldn't. We're only talking about him because now he's a WBA champion. If he would have said this before Lamont Roach got stripped, nobody would care. Right? You feel me? So the only reason why a lot of us know Jazza Dickens is because he inherited the WBA belt from Lamont Roach. Let's be real, at 130. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when you're a guy like Jin Sasaki, who got a title shot with Brian Norman, right, for the WBO, he was known because he was what's it called? What belt did he have? The Asia Pacific belt or something like that, you know? And like the NABO belt, the NABO belt, and the Commonwealth belt. Those do stuff. Those belts do stuff to elevate this prestige or the profile of the fighters, you know what I'm saying? So before they make a name, the belts do mean something. I mean, look at Raymond Murataya. Nobody was really talking about Raymond Murataya until he became a belt holder for the IBF, right? And President Darrell Peoples. Nobody would really talk about Lewis Crocker until he became the IBF 147-pound champion, right? So the belts indeed do stuff for the fighters with the lower profile, and they do stuff for the fighters with a bigger profile. It's just once they get the bigger profile, then they don't need the belts as much. So that's why I said I think Shakur, who doesn't really need the belts, I think he should float around. If he wants to fight Conor Ben, like I said, I won't like it. I don't like that fight. But, I mean, if you're not impressed with him being Teofimo, you're not going to be impressed with him being Murataya. If you're not impressed with him being Zepeda, you're not going to be impressed with him beating Abdullah Mason. If you're not impressed with him beating anybody else that he's fought, then you're not going to be impressed with him beating Lucas Body or Floyd Schofield. So, you know what I'm saying? I think the only fight that we would be impressed with, I'm talking about we as a collective, not me or you, Oster, specifically or individually, but the masses, the casuals, they would only be impressed if he beats Gervonta. And Gervonta's not even fighting right now. So I think it would behoove him. This is the most opportune time for him to go and explore these fights at, say, EFA division, and just go fight Conor Ben or fight Ryan Garcia if he beats Barrios. I'm going to be honest, too. Who the heck wants to see Shakur versus Ryan? I don't want to see that. Shakur go beat the heck out of Ryan. Like, and Ryan's trash. Let's call it for what it is. But Ryan does have a bigger name than Dalton Smith or Raymond Murataya or whoever else he could fight right now in or around his division. So I get it. But I don't necessarily like it, but I think this is a time for Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, to just, hey, float around and just fight whoever brings the money, because there's nobody, if, like I said, with Devin Haney, if you're not impressed with him beating Brian Norman, who we thought was the best, right? We called Brian Norman the best champion at welterweight when he had the WBO belt with President Gustavo Oliveira. We said that he was the best champion at 147. Then Devin Haney beats Brian Norman and people don't give him credit. It's crazy. So if we don't give him credit for being the American Brian Norman, you think we're going to give him credit for beating the Irish Lewis Crocker? Hell no. We going to give him credit for beating the American Rolly Romero, WBA belt holder? Heck no. We going to give him credit for beating the winner of... Well, they might give Devin Haney credit for beating Ryan Garcia. If Ryan Garcia beats Barrios, they might give him credit. They're not going to give Devin Haney. If Barrios beats or Ryan Garcia, they will not give Devin Haney credit for beating Mario Barrios. But if Ryan Garcia wins, they may give him credit for beating Devin Haney. But even then, I mean, they may give Devin Haney credit for beating Ryan Garcia. But even then, I don't think so, because they're just gonna say, oh, you know, he still beat you up. You still tried to sue. He still had you face down, booty in the air. You know what I'm saying? They don't care about PEDs. So I don't know. But if he wants to go to 154, I'm not against the move. But yeah, I think that this is the time for them to do whatever they want. I'm going to be honest. I wouldn't mind Xander versus Devin, but I prefer Xander. Like, you know me, man. I like unifications, man. So this might sound silly, but I would prefer to see Xander versus Josh Kelly. I would prefer to see Boots versus Josh Kelly because according to Eddie Hearn and Josh Kelly, they claim that they already signed to fight Boots after they beat Bakram, or if they beat Bakram, then they beat Bakram. Now all of a sudden they're exploring options, right? Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, if I'm Boots, I'm having an immediate meeting with my promoter Eddie Hearn, because Eddie Hearn said it, Josh Kelly said it. They said, hey, if they beat Bakram, they already signed to fight Boots. Now that they beat Bakram, now they're talking about exploring their options, maybe fighting Xander, maybe fighting Bakram again because Bakram filed for a motion. They're saying everything besides Jerron Boots Ennis. So that's crazy. But I would prefer to see Xander versus Josh Kelly. That's a 3-belt unification right there. Absolutely. The IBF, WBA, WBO would be on the line. I'd rather see Xander Zayas versus who's a WBC champion? Sebastian Fedor, or the winner of Sebastian Fedor, Keith Thurman. I like unifications, but I want to be mad at Xander versus Devin. Shout out to Boxer with Tufo. He says, if Haney don't beat Ryan up, he got to outbox him for 24 rounds to show us he's C-level. Right, exactly. Haney either treat Keyshawn like 2013 Floyd versus Canelo, or 2025 Bud versus Canelo, says Pugilism. Haney and Turkey in the driver's seat. I want to see Boots retired. I'll sleep. I think that they're talking about maybe Boots. They're saying that Boots could be fighting Virgil Ortiz in April, man. So we'll see. I'll believe it when I see it, but that's what they're saying, man. That's what they're saying, man. They're saying Boots. They're saying Boots versus Virgil Ortiz in April, man. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. We'll see. We'll see though. But yeah, man, I just want to pull up on y'all, man, and talk a little boxing. You feel me? I will allow the phone. I mean, I'll open up the phone lines. Yeah, I'm gonna open up the phone lines, man. And have people call in, talk to me how you feel about the fights and the upcoming fights. What's the next biggest fight? The next biggest fight is the February 21st, right? Next week with Mario Barrios defended his WBC belt against Ryan Garcia, right? I know there's a fight this weekend too. Is Charles Martin and gosh dang Efe Ajagba this weekend? Yeah, it is. Yep. Efe Ajagba versus Charles Martin is on Sunday. Yeah. Oh, Ryosuke Nishida versus Brian Mercado. That should be a good one. Yeah, that should be a good one. Speaking of a good one, shout out to what's the name too? Shout out to my boy name Medina. Shout out to Christian Medina at 118 when he beat Yoshiki Takei. He just successfully defended his belt against Curio. That was a good fight. I don't know if you watched it, but that was a good fight, man. Shout out to Christian Medina. I like him. That boy be punching. He be punching on folks. You know what I'm saying? He be punching. Young bull. He's young too, so. He be punching. So we'll see if Ryosuke Nishida could win his fight against Mercado. Maybe we could get a rematch with Christian Medina and Ryosuke Nishida, because Nishida beat Mercado. Christian Medina. But Medina been on a little run, man. So I like him. Yeah, I like him. He said we still talking about Boots and Virgil. I told y'all that was a scam. Nah. I think it might happen. I don't know when it'll happen, but I think it'll happen. I think it'll happen, man. I don't know if it's going to happen soon. I don't know if it's going to happen in April. Excuse me, but I do think it'll happen. Maybe I'm a foolish optimist, but I am optimistic about that one. You feel me? For your listening pleasure, we are now on Spotify under Dr. Boxing Talk. The same thing on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, everything. Dr. Boxing Talk, man. Come rock with us. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. He said Barrios versus Ryan's not a big fight. You sleep. It's not the biggest fight, but that's the biggest fight we gonna have for a little minute. What fight's bigger than that? Chat, my birthday was a February 8th too, man. My birthday was last Sunday, man. You feel me? So, we was turned up a little bit. Well, I mean, all I did was work, but you know what I'm saying? 1 year older, man. God is good. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Big 3-9, chat. 3-8. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody too. You don't think this fight is big? Oster, you sleep. What fight is bigger than this right now? Ain't nothing bigger than this. for this month. I don't think so. I got Keyshawn all day and another day. I don't know, man. Keyshawn, hey, shout out to Keyshawn. He stepped on the gas and got Jermaine Ortiz up out of there. Let me pull this up. Let me pull up my my mic. I'm about to go ahead and slide too, man. I'm stuffed up. I ain't trying to get sick. I don't know what's going on. I don't want to get sick, my boy. Being sick is no good. I'm not trying to be sick. Give me some oranges. I got stuffed up. That boy, anyway, Oscar says that boy anyway needs to start running and sign that paper. Nakatani versus Inoue. Yeah, man, he needs to sign, man. We want Nakatani. I'm hearing things about Inoue talking about going straight up to featherweight. Nah, man. Fight Nakatani, man. Fight Nakatani. Young OG, appreciate that, Tufo. Tufo said happy belated, young OG. I appreciate that, my brother. I appreciate you, bro. Shout out to you, man. Thank you. Thank you for the birthday wishes, my brother. I appreciate that, man. Shout out to my brother Tufo. All right, let me pull up Oster, man. What the heck? Yo.
What's poppin', Doc?
Man, nothing much, man. How you doing, brethren?
Ain't shit, man. Happy B-Day, my G.
I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that.
Yo, you officially out of the YN category. You officially out of the grown man stuff.
Hey, yo. I've been out of the YN category, man. As soon as they could send me to the Bing for 20 to life, well, you up out of there. You ain't no YN no more. They can put you in jail forever, boy. You ain't no YN no more. Yes, sir, man. How you doing, man? Everything on your side good? Out here doing the good work, holding it down for the real ones?
Yeah, we all good, man. We all good. You know, you can't complain. You can't complain out here, man. You can't complain. You can't even complain no more because motherfuckers ain't got time for to hear you complain. It's too fast.
Facts.
So you can't complain. You get what I'm saying? But I tell you one thing. That Ryan and Barrow fight ain't no big fight.
You don't think so?
It's a good fight for this. Hell no. That ain't no good fight. I don't hear nobody talk about that fight. You got Ryan running around like Ryan. You know what I mean? He running around like Ryan. But I think, to be honest with you, I think Barrow's he's gonna stop Ryan.
Bro, I hope you're right, bro. Say that again, bro. I need that. I swear to God,
I think he's gonna stop Ryan for real.
Man, I'm going.
I think he's gonna stop
Ryan. Barrios, but man, I don't know, man. This fight is.
I think
the fact that this fight is close to me is more a testament to how much I feel like I can't trust Barrios right now. You know, I like Barrios, man, but man, he just hasn't been looking good lately, man. He didn't look good against a 46-year-old Pacquiao. Pacquiao a legend, but he didn't look good against him. He looked good against Abel Ramos for the first 4 rounds, and I don't know what happened. He has a new trainer now. I know it was Ryan Garcia's old trainer, but man, I don't know, man. When I say big fight, I don't mean big fight like a T.O. Shakur type, but I'm saying like, excuse me, the fact that it's a title fight, the fact that they're recognizable faces. You know what I'm saying? Mario Barro's been in there with Tank and Shakur. I mean, not Shakur, Tank and Thurman and your Dennis Ugas and others, and then of course we know Ryan Garcia been in there with Tank and Devin and. You know what I'm saying? The social media presence he got. So I agree with this. It's not like a big fight like, oh yeah, I'm super looking forward to it, but I mean, what other fight we have? Like this month. I think this is the biggest fight this month. I mean, that we have left, right?
Yeah.
We got what? Charles Martin versus Efe Ajagba tomorrow. I mean, not tomorrow, but this weekend.
I just think that when you weigh out the both of them, and I'm trying not to do the triangle, you know what I mean? But when you weigh out the both of them, last performances, you know what I mean? And it's just that I don't see Ryan getting no better. I just don't see Ryan getting no better. I don't see him getting no better in the past 3-4 fights. I don't see him doing nothing different but bullshitting on the internet, You know, the same Brian Garcia. You mean hoping for a lucky left or whatever it is. If
Talk
Barrow's
to him.
coming there, if Barrow's coming there the way he fought Tank, he gonna beat the shit out of Ryan.
I agree. I'm telling you,
he gonna beat the shit out of Ryan because Tank. It took Tank 12. You know, Barrow's he was fighting him. They was fighting. If he fight Ryan like that, because I think that he will. Because look, another thing with the Pacquiao fight, I always look at that Pacquiao fight with Barrios like I look at the Charlo fight with Canelo.
It took Thurman 12. I think Tank got him out of there in 11. Well, I mean, still a long time though. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, 11.
Yeah.
It was at the end, but I'm just saying the whole
right.
fight.
I agree
If he put on that, because Ryan ain't been in no fight like that. He couldn't even handle Rolly, and Rolly's slow as shit.
Facts.
Yeah, he's slow as shit. Rolly's slow as shit, but that's just my take on that because I'm going with Barrios on that all day long. I said all day. He just need a little bit of Mexican out of him, and he's gonna beat Ryan ass.
You gotta bring it out. You gotta dig deep.
Yeah, get a little Mexican, and he's gonna beat Ryan ass. And I'm telling you.
I hope you're right, bro. Hope you're right, man.
But I got a new statement, man. I got a new slogan. And my slogan is, greatness is blurred by casuals. That's my statement. Greatness is blurred by casuals because these casuals sit here and you could be people like Shakur, because a lot of these people like boxers, so it's hard to talk to them when you're trying to talk boxing and they talking about boxers. You get what I'm saying? So this is why they act like the discrepancy with Shakur. I mean, I don't know what somebody could do. And another thing is this. I'm gonna get on the Shakur tomorrow studio because he's a boy. That boy is dangerous. But anyway, Shakur, I tell people, I say, yo, try to just put in your head, right, that Shakur don't give a fuck about knockouts. Right. Just try to put it in your head that he don't care about knockouts. Y'all been talking to this shit to Shakur for the past 7-8 fights. He don't care about that shit. Shakur cares about masterclass boxing. It's just in his brain. It's like you trying to tell Floyd to go in there and just fight recklessly and knock him out.
Right.
Floyd ain't gonna do that. He's just not. He's wired different. And when he get in that ring, he's a completely different person. You get what I'm saying? He's completely different. And I feel that people will see Shakur for his talent and for boxing, not as a boxer, then you might be coming off the casual stage a little bit, unless you want to stay to be a casual. Because some people want to be a casual. You know, they don't want to. You know, a lot of people don't want to learn, Doc. You know, they're comfortable with being an ass.
Yep.
It's comfortable with being an ass. All I'm telling you, man, for real.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. I would say my only thing about that, like when you brought up Floyd and stuff, I agree with you. Like the later Floyd, like Money Mayweather stuff, I will say that I think the reason why people, first of all, people are just haters. So that's number one. They gonna hate on Shakur. But I'm not even no Shakur fan. You know that like that. But the man, like everything you said, masterclass boxer. But I would say that I think people do, not everybody, but I think some people do remember Pretty Boy Floyd, you know, where he was thumping, you know. And I think that because Shakur never had that phase, which I'm not saying he should. I think he should stay to how he is. Like you said, masterclass boxer. Don't be who you are. That's how you're gonna win. You mess around trying to beat somebody else, you might lose. So I'm not saying that's a problem, but I'm just saying I think that might contribute to why people don't gravitate towards him as much. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I'm just guessing. I don't know.
Yeah, it's another funny thing. You know, it's a funny thing. And I said this. I think I said it earlier. But another funny thing, because I be sitting here, just, the brain just be running, and I'm like, yo, they treated Rinky White the same way.
Yep, that's a fact. Yep,
they treated him the same exact way. Yep.
Oh, he got it bad. I would say Winky got it worse. I would say Winky probably got it worse.
Yeah, Winky, he did because remember when Winky was there, it was about real boxing. You know, they was about, it wasn't the internet days. You know what I mean? So it was really hard.
Right.
Like extremely to the point where you can ask people Winky Wright. Some people won't even know who the hell that is.
Facts.
Tell you. They're like, who the fuck is Winky Wright?
Well, or they may remember him from Paul Punisher Williams, maybe. I don't know. I don't even think so.
Hey, Doc, he the one that beat Trinidad with one arm. I cannot believe that, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Winky Wright was nice, man. He just, that high guard, and people didn't want to see that.
Yeah, but that's the modern day boxing. So, but I'm gonna always be how you say, Doc. I'm gonna always stick to my guns, and I'm gonna always try to get you off the casual stage. Don't worry about it. It's all good. We the homeless shelter. We open. Our doors is always open. When you want to stop being a casual for a minute, come inside.
Yep. Yep. That's a fact, man.
And but now Marsulio.
Oh,
I got to get on this dude. I got to get on this dude, Doc. Like,
please do.
I listen to this interview, right? And like I told you, I always listen to what people say out their mouth. Because people was funny when like people when they conversing, they got funny ways to talk, and you got to really be listening to people. Because remember this, he is the president, so you have to really listen to him. Because you don't know, sometimes he protecting the company, sometimes he protecting him, you know, so you got to really listen to this dude. And so I noticed that in the beginning of the interview, he sounded like De La Hoya. It's rules. You got to follow the rules. He kept trying to do these rules. And that's when Chris was like, you talking about the same rules that you've been?
Right.
Those are what you're talking about? So that means nothing. I don't even know why you said it.
Right.
It don't mean absolutely nothing. But you know what? It's a whole bunch of that interview, but I'm going to jump to this part. Because this part here, this really pulled the skirt up. And I was like, yo, I respect Shakur. I wouldn't even do business with this dude. This dude, to validate his bullshit, Doc, to validate a belt, to validate a percentage for a belt, you brought Jamar Charlo personal information out like that?
Yes,
we all knew Jamar Charlo. Everybody knew Jamar Charlo was going through some shit, but he must have called you and told you about the suicide. What the fuck that got to do with the WCB and the belt? What the hell that got to do with this?
Not a thing. Not a thing. He was
on
defensive.
Yo, listen, Doc. Now listen, I'm gonna tell you the second word. One word was rules. Now there's a word that's under rules, but it's more. It's rules is the umbrella. It's criteria. Remember he kept saying the criteria when it got to Canelo. Remember he kept saying, yo, it's a criteria. It's a criteria. Oh, there's no more rules, so now it's a criteria. See, because you could break criteria down. You can start moving people around with criteria, not rules. Because you can bend the rules, pick the criteria. That's 100% fact. You said it out of your mouth. Ain't nobody said it to you. Chris Max asked you one question, and you brought people mental health in it. You brought everybody in the cover. What the fuck you talking about? And he just asked you a simple question: is it worth $120,000?
Right.
It's completely
It's not about the money. It could be $1 or $1 million. Man, shut up.
That's what he kept saying. It's not about the money. It's all about the money.
Right.
That's what we up here talking about is the money. And you keep talking about everybody's mental shit and rules and criterias and all that. You ain't answered one simple question. You took the belt.
Yep.
You feel me, Doc? It's like you tell your girl, you tell your girl, yo, man, I think you with that dude, man. I told you about this shit, man. If you don't get in here by 8 o'clock, don't come here. And she don't come.
Right. Right.
Right or wrong? It's like, yo, what the fuck? Okay, cool. But Marsulio, man, I listened to that interview, man. I said, nah, that was bad. As a president, he shouldn't talk. That's why people have publicists. He shouldn't. I'm telling you, he should shut the fuck up.
Facts. And then also in addition to that too, it's like, look how fast they stripped Bivol. Look, they stripped Bivol. I feel like that was unfair too. You know, they stripped. The man Bivol had a surgery, bro. He hasn't fought. They stripped him, but he was going to back surgery, bro. They stripped him from Benavidez. And I'm not saying that I'm mad at. I like David Benavidez, but it just shows their inconsistency. Like if they were gonna strip people, they never stripped Canelo. You know, Canelo, that's my favorite fighter, but if they were gonna strip, if they stripped Bivol that fast, they should have been stripped. Should have been. So it's not about the money. Then why are you stripping some people faster than others? You know, and not stripping people at all.
Peep Gang, Doc. Yo, Peep Gang, he the president, right? So now, if you look, you the president, so we know that you protecting Canelo. It's all fine. Everybody got their pet. Everybody got their good kid. Everybody got their best child. It's all good. Now, the point is, see, Benavidez, you strip him because every time you strip him, it's a lesser chance of you even putting him with Canelo. It's like a knockdown thing. I just keep stripping you. And so it'll always be somebody else. If I put Canelo with somebody else, it would be just as good because I can take one of your belts and make Canelo fight another manufactured dude. And it's a president move. Y'all can do what y'all want to do. It's all good. Just answer the 120 question. Why are you charging $120,000? That's all we're trying to say. You got all the numbers and all the percentages. Put it together. And then you remember what he said?
What?
He said this out his mouth. He said, I assume of what he got, He said
Oh yeah,
it
yeah.
was, he
You
said it
talking
was
about for the amount of money that he got from the purse of
yeah. So you
for the
just
Teal fight.
he said so you just sat there and made up and Chris and this is another thing too, right? And I want to see if somebody
Pocket
understand
watching,
this.
man. Out there pocket watching, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, a non-profit company, right? And you run it like a company. Because the boxes is your faces, like the belts. That's what the belt is about. So you told you this is the whole beef. You telling Shakur he went and fought, but Shakur didn't fight for that belt. You know what I mean? So now is it if Shakur brought the belt to the ring and show it? Is that why you want the 120? Because you want to make it seem like you're a part of this? Because y'all had nothing to do with this. And so this is what I'm saying about this phone call. You had nothing to do with it. So what is it? Is it that every time somebody fight, and this is what you talk about, this is why Chris kept saying you keep bending the rules because those rules don't apply to Canelo. They didn't apply to Charlo. Charlo was out the first year and a half, and then we start hearing about the mental health and all that. It wasn't like he left mentally out the ring. You get what I'm saying? It wasn't like he left out the ring, like he was crying in the ring like the other dude. It wasn't like that. That was in between fights, and he didn't have a fight, and 8 months to a year, then we start hearing he got right or wrong. Right. And so now you're gonna come with this bullshit. So what you telling me, Marsudio, is that a man said that he was gonna kill himself, and the only reason he was gonna kill himself if you hold his belt.
Held the belt.
That was your thing. That's what you said. You clearly said it. If you hear it again, he said that. Right. That's what you said. You said the man said this, and that's why you did what you did. So you trying to be an angel. This dude is crazy. I swear to God.
He's trying to be an angel.
For a minute. I swear to God, he's trying to be an angel. This dude is crazy.
Let me put an irony. That's a good point, though. Irony was good. No, that's a great point, though, bro. Yeah, he's trying to be an angel. I'm trying to be touched by an angel.
Yeah, they die. You don't want to. You don't want to start the fire and then call the fire department.
Not bad, bro. Irony was good, man.
God bless you, man.
God bless you too, mi hermano.
You still eating pizza and ice cream over there?
No, I'm actually eating a cookie right now, but I got the pizza and ice cream on deck.
Listen, I want to talk to you. Hey, Oster, God bless you, bro. How you doing today?
What's up, man?
Bro, I wanted to ask you a few questions, man. What do you think about? I just read on X that Mbili is open to defending his WBC super middleweight title against Chris Eubank Jr.
With who? Sorry.
Chris Eubank Jr.
Dang, you got real low. Is it me or I can hear you? You said Chris Eubank, right? Chris Eubank? Did you say that?
Yeah, Chris Eubank Jr.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't think Chris Eubank takes that fight. And if he does, he's stupid him up. He better go sit down. He better try to fight Canelo.
Didn't they just say Canelo's supposed to fight him?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But not only that, I mean, Lester is fighting for the interim with Aleem, right?
Yeah, Lester is. Yeah, and I don't like that. I don't really get that, but.
You wanted to see the rematch straight up, right?
Yeah, I mean, I want to see the rematch, and it'd be perfect. Now the belt would be on the line, but I don't know.
You think that's only because
Lester just lose?
Fight was on the table, or do you? I mean,
yeah, I don't really know. I think no. Lester and Christian Billy had the draw. Remember? But yeah. The irony. I don't know why they're doing that. I don't know why that fight felt. They said Christian and Billy. According to reports, they said that Billy didn't really want it at that time, but I think it was because, like you said, the WBC, and then I guess they expected. I mean, I guess because he had the opportunity, he expected it to be Hamza Shiraz or Diego Pacheco, but Diego Pacheco walked away. Then Hamza Shiraz went the what's his name route? Went to go fight the WBO route with Pacheco, But yeah, I think that he anticipated to fight Shiraz because remember Shiraz fought for the WBC belt when he fought Adames. Well, 160, but it was still the WBC belt. So I think that Billy was. I don't think that Billy. I could be wrong. I don't think that Billy did not want to fight Lester. I think he just prioritized the belt, and they never gave him that opportunity to fight Lester Martinez for the WBC belt. Because remember, they were pushing Jaime Munguia too to fight Christian and Billy for the WBC belt.
Exactly. That was the first plan, right?
Yeah, that was the first. Exactly. That was the first plan after the rematch, right? So I think that Christian and Billy just went that route, not necessarily to avoid Lester Martinez, but. If I have a fight and I can get a belt, of course I'm going to go for the belt.
Absolutely.
Or if I have two fights and I have to choose one, of course I'm going to go for the belt. I mean.
Exactly, and not only Billy, you know, it's not like I'm picking on him or anything because even I thought Iglesias, I know he's fighting Pavel Sosuna, I think
Yeah,
is his
something
name.
with a P, right? Pavin or something.
Exactly. And I thought he was gonna fight Bruno Suras at first, no?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They're all over the place. Diego Pacheco pulled out of Hamza Shiraz.
Man, you're real low. Irony, is it just me or can you hear him, Oster?
Second.
I can hear him. Yeah,
You hear him what? He real low
I
for
can hear.
me.
Yeah, I can hear him good.
Huh? Must be my side then. Hold on.
Is it always
Yeah,
like
I can hear.
this, or have you heard a couple of things clearly? Or
I can hear you, but you like real low for me. Like, so, and it's not even that. It's like it'll start off loud and then it'll go lower.
maybe let me. How about now? Let me
Oh,
put
but
my
much better now.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Sorry about that.
Now you're good.
They're saying Collazo, you know, the minimum weight.
Yes,
Oscar
sir.
Cupido
Oscar
Collazo.
Collazo. He's fighting Melvin Jerusalem, right, for a rematch.
Exactly, and some people are saying like he's ducking Pedro Tadura, and I'm like,
Man,
how?
stop it, bro.
Like,
Stop it, man.
how
Stop it, man.
stupid can you be? Like,
Stop it, man. Stop it,
he's
bro.
got to go through both of them either way, right? Like they each
Bro,
have a
people
belt.
just
So
they have no patience, man. They have no patience, bro. Like, you
he
can't
already beat
fight
this guy.
everybody at the same time, bro. Like,
Exactly, one at a time, bro. One at a time. Like,
stop it,
and the stupidest shit ever is like he already beat this guy. Well, he still has a belt, bro. So what do you want?
exactly. Yeah, it's minimum weight. The pool is not that deep. We know that. Like, that's how you know people just don't really watch boxing. Like, yeah, of course, Melvin Jerusalem was a rematch, but okay, so even if Oscar Collazo has 2 of the belts, Melvin has 1, Pedro has 1. So even if he fights Melvin first, where do you think he's gonna go after that? He's gonna go for undisputed. Like, so whether he fights Pedro first or Melvin next, like, come on, man. Whether it's Melvin first or Pedro first, like, stop it, man. We gotta stop it, bro. We be looking for ducks. Come on, man. That's nonsense.
Exactly.
But hey, but shout out to you, man. Congratulations to you know, PR. Xander Zayas got the unification, got the job done against
Man, what's up
Togo.
with that,
Yeah, man, good stuff, man.
He almost gave me a heart
Hey
attack,
yo,
man.
hey yo,
I
Doc.
can say that. You know, he almost gave me a fucking.
That was a good fight, though. What's good? Oh,
Hey yo, why you be able to tie your head top like that, Doc? You be on that. You be
bro,
on that guy. Yo,
bro, I'm so glad
yo,
Aaron is here
Mention
because
that
he could
name to
defend
me.
him.
No, I even if I tried my hardest, and believe me, I have like thought about this.
Mm-hmm.
Like I told you on the video, right? Like the only way that I can salvage this is if Baldy promised him like in blood, you know, on paper right
Right,
there to fight the winner of Zurdo and Benavides.
right.
Otherwise, bro, why in God's name did you sign the dotted line?
Thank you. I don't understand. It's like, how could we say? Like, I understand being patient, but this is beyond patience now. This is like, that's completely contradictory. Like I said, I mean, I understand that people want to say, okay, I'm gonna be patient. This is his U.S. debut, Zulfa boxer debut. We'll give him this fight and see what happens next. But, bro, I have videos where I told people that
yeah.
the Noel McCalin Noel McCalin fight is not solidified. People call me, oh, they had a face off. I said, bro, it's not solidified. That's just a verbal agreement. And then now he's not fighting, like I said, he's not fighting Noel McCalin. And now people are like, oh, well, we're going to give him one more fight. Which, like I said, I get it because this is his Zuffa debut, his U.S. debut, and his Zuffa debut and his U.S. debut. So I get it. But it's just, come on, man. Before Glanton, it was, who was it? Sin Cara. I know that's a mandatory, but everybody has mandatories. You know what I'm saying? Zurdo had Dortico. That was a mandatory. People still complain about that. So, and then before, who did he fight before that? Squayo? That was a voluntary. And then before that was David Naika. I know that was because Sin Cara got hurt, but still. And then who was before Naika? Was it Massey? Jack One Smack Massey?
I think it was either him or Eli Zorro.
It might have been Zorro. Yeah, I don't remember. But it's just like, bro, come on, bro. How much, like, there's so many fighters that are fighting stiffer competition and we still complain. Like Oscar Collazo. This man's about to fight for 3 belts. And people still complain. Now they're calling him a duck. But we're letting Jai Pataya fight Brandon Glanton. Come on, bro. Come on, dog. No disrespect to Brandon Glanton. It's not a bad fight. But the circumstances and the context around it makes it bad. The timing is bad.
Without a doubt, because the one or two arguments that I could find, and I'm still dead in the water anyway, but the one or two arguments that I could find like in favor is like, okay, first of all, this guy, he has 3 losses, but he's never been stopped.
Yeah,
The
Brandon Glanton,
CBS
right.
one,
Mm-hmm.
and the other two were a majority and a split.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like
Yeah, he's
he's
not a
been.
bum. No, it's a good fight.
But with that being said, no, man, no, because so why aren't you? I believe for the longest time, bro, that CVS talked Opetai. I'm starting to doubt that shit, man.
Come on now.
I'm telling
That's
you,
all I'm saying.
like it's one thing if you're fighting CBS because okay, maybe you're making a point of okay, the
Right.
guy that
Thank
lasted
you.
12 rounds.
Thank you.
Exactly. The guy that lasted 12 rounds with Zurdo, I'm gonna stop him and I'm gonna make a statement because that is
Right.
a statement, right? You did
Right.
that.
And he's a former champ. He's a guy that went 12 rounds with Zurdo. He's a former champion. You said that he was ducking you. But let's be honest, too.
There it is, bro.
They offered him, quote unquote, $1 million, but it was on short notice. Like with CBS. And then, not to mention, you're not fighting CBS. You're fighting the guy that lost to CBS. You're not fighting CBS. You're fighting a guy that. I mean, you're not even fighting. You're not fighting Zurdo. I get it. Okay, whatever. Zurdo's fighting Benavidez. But then you're not even fighting Noel McCallan. You're not even fighting the guy that Noel McCallan, if you want to say he barely beat or had a rematch, or you're not fighting Badu Jack. You're not even fighting the interim champion, Michael Cieslak.
Yeah, like
The
I
WBC
can't
champ.
believe because
And then, and irony, if you go look at my video, remember when Ryan Rozicki called out Zurdo? I mean, Jai?
Yeah.
I made a video and said that Ryan Rozicki would be a good fight for Jai. I'll be cool with that. You know what people told me? They said I was dumb. Who is Ryan Rozicki? So if you don't know who Ryan Rozicki is, you can't tell me Brandon Glanton's a good fight.
That boy is dangerous as holy
Man,
hell,
that's crazy, bro.
I'm telling
It's crazy. Ryan
telling
Rozicki
you,
is a
Ryan
nobody and he doesn't deserve the fight, but Brandon Glanton deserves the fight. Come on, dog.
The problem with Ryan Rozicki is that he keeps getting hurt, but I
Yeah.
want to get back to Glanton for a second because there's another problem with Brandon Glanton fight. Brandon Glanton in ring, okay, you can interchange ring and IBF, okay? In one of them, he's 10, and in the other, he's 15. I can't remember.
Oh, wow. I
which.
didn't even look at the rankings.
So you can't convince me that those 9 dudes in between or
Come on
14
now.
dudes in between are all like scared shitless of you.
Come on
I
now.
can't get there. Give me 2 or
Right.
3, but not all of them, bro.
That's my
dang.
biggest, that's my only point. It's like, okay, maybe Zurdo's scared of you. Maybe Noel McCallan's scared of you. But everybody's scared. Like, come on, bro. We seen Mike Tyson got fights. I like Jive. He's not Mike Tyson. I like he's not destroying people like that. Mike Tyson was able to get fights. Why can't Jive get fights? I don't know. Give me somebody else. Tank is able to get fights. Shakur's able to get fights. George Foreman's able to get fights. Tyson Fury's able to get fights. Like, come on, bro. There's so many guys that are B-Ball's able to get fights. Baturbia is able to get fights. But Jai can't get any fights. Come on, bro. But like, come on, bro. Come on now.
I got a question for you, because this is the best argument for me, right? The best argument, I think, for me, and then again, I'm still dead in the water. But why would Zurdo, I mean, obviously the answer is the money, right? But why would Zurdo put his 2 belts on the line with a guy that hasn't fought there yet? Shouldn't he make him fight? Well, no. I just answered my own question. It's
No,
right?
I think that's a good question, but I just think it's the money, you know, Mexican and Mexican American, essentially Mexican versus Mexican type of war. Everybody's gonna love it stylistically. And the familiarity with each other, I think, is an easy fight to make. And that's the thing, though. Like, my bad. I know I'm not answering your question with this, but you just put me on that. It's like, I know David Benavidez is smaller. He's coming up. But I just don't see somebody being afraid. I don't see somebody that's afraid of Jai willing to fight David Benavidez. Like, I know David Benavidez is smaller. In theory, let me say in theory, he's smaller, right? Because David Benavidez is a big guy, right? They talk about him potentially going heavyweight too, but
it's what it is, you know?
Yeah, it's just like I just can't see that, bro. Like, but yeah, I thought that was odd too. I thought if anything, because remember they were talking about Zurdo initially, he was gonna fight, was it Robin Safar for a little tune-up because he was coming off a hand injury. Yeah, so Zurdo was gonna fight Robin Safar, but Safar pulled out for whatever reason. You know, so Zurdo, I thought it was even more odd that Zurdo would fight Benavidez without having a little touch up with it off of his hand surgery. But like I said, I'm not complaining. I love the fight. So, I would prefer Zerto and Apatai. Being honest, I would prefer to see Apatai and Zerto. But at this point, it's just like I just can't say. I can't say that is whose fault it is. You know, I can't blame like because even if it was Zerto's fault, he's also not fighting Noel McCain. Even if it's Noel McCain fault, he also didn't fight Chris Billion Smith. Even if Chris Billion's fault, he also didn't fight Ryan Rozicki. You know what I'm saying? It's like so. It's just bro. I'm not going, bro. Everybody ain't scared, bro.
Yeah, there's one common denominator here, and it's not Zurdo.
Right, and then look,
everybody ain't scared, and everybody ain't.
Come on, exactly, and then look, and forget the fighters. Okay, Eddie Hearn didn't get you the fight. Now Dana White's not getting you the fight. So it's always something. Even with promoters, bro. That gets crazy, bro. And then what was his last fight? His last fight was well, that was a mandatory, so I give him a pass for that. But even then, it was like that was purely Mick Francis. So even when you're with Mick Francis in the Tasman fight, they still ain't getting you the fight. So come on, bro. Somebody lying, man. Somebody lying, man.
I want to get your take on, I mean, if you want to say anything else about Opetaya, because I was about to shift it.
No, that was Oster trying to get my blood boiler.
Surprise, huh?
Oh, man.
But I want your take on Bakram, man, because we kind of went a little not back and forth. Like you answered my question on the video. Obviously, he should jump ship, right? Because it's not working clearly. And now that he doesn't have a belt, bro, where the hell does he go from here? Like they wouldn't even fight you with the belt. You think they're gonna fight you without it?
Right. Come on now. Exactly. Exactly. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think he keeps. You think he keeps the IBF? I don't think he keeps it.
But he gonna be somebody mandatory.
Wait, you still talking about Jai? Wait, who are you talking about?
Oh no, Bakram, I'm sorry.
Oh, Bakram, my fault. I thought you still talking about Jai. I apologize, my fault. Bakram. Well, Bakram saying he's getting the Josh Kelly fight. He put a motion. He complained about I think it was it the 10th round or the 12th round? One of the rounds, one of the judges gave it a 10-10 round. And he's saying that if he would have got that round, then he wouldn't have. Then it would have been a draw. So I don't know if it's gonna go through, but yeah, Josh Kelly may have to fight. We'll see what Daryl Peoples and the IBF, President Daryl Peoples and the IBF do, but he might have to fight a rematch.
You know, Xander.
Do you think? Doc, do you think they should order it based on the fight?
I'm gonna be honest, man. You think they should? Oh,
hell yeah!
I'm not gonna lie,
fight.
Man.
Listen,
I think
talking about when they talk about.
Now go ahead.
That was a clear fight to show you that, you know, it's just certain motherfuckers that can just do that kind of shit in the ring. You got people that's in the ring like Shakur that's master class and then they beefing with it. This dude, he was bugging in the ring. I'm telling you, I couldn't be a boxer, but you couldn't be grabbing me like that, man. For real, man. I'd be like,
that's true.
Come on, man.
That's true.
Bullshit, man. Like,
I agree with that. I think there should have been a little bit more warnings compared to what we saw. I'm not sure he should have lost a point, but I do think there should have been some more warnings. I do agree with that.
And the funny thing about it is that they beef with certain fighters. You know, they move around. But Kelly was literally running and grabbing. I hate the people that be on the ring. And you in the ring and you get close to and he just runs out and just grab you. The ref should say something, man. He don't try to swing or nothing. He just grab you.
I agree.
Especially
like the second half of the fight when after he got dropped by Bakram. I hope Bakram bounces back, man. But I think that to answer your question, Osa, I wouldn't be mad either way. If they let it ride, I wouldn't be mad. If they order a rematch, I wouldn't be mad. But the better boxer is Josh Kelly. A lot of times the fight gets better for the better boxer. And to answer Irony's question, I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm not sure. I said this before too. I had Bakram ranked number 1 for me at 154. I thought he was kind of disrespected, but I mean he lost now, so that's long gone. But I'm not sure. I will say, as much as I like Bakram, I was never really convinced that people were avoiding him either. Though I think it was another money situation. I will say I think Virgil was avoiding him because what's Bakram's promoters, Main Event Promotions, and Turkey came out and said that they were trying to make that fight, and Virgil didn't do it. So I would say Virgil was, but I'm not sure if I like Xander. I'm not sure Xander wouldn't fight Bakram. I'm not sure Boots wouldn't fight Bakram. I'm not sure. Jesus Ramos at 160 now, but I think Boachuk would fight Bakram. I don't know how many people really avoiding him more so than maybe they just couldn't get the good deals. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, definitely he's a threat. I'm not saying that
Yeah,
people didn't
and
see
that's
him as
it.
a threat, but I'm not sure.
Well, it does create the perfect scenario, quote unquote, perfect scenario for somebody to avoid you, doesn't it? Because, yeah, you have a belt, but you don't have that much networking word to speak of, and
Right.
you are dangerous. So you have the complete, you have the worst combination possible
Uh-huh.
because
Yeah.
if you sold, if you had like if you had this huge fan base, people would take the risk because they at
Mm-hmm.
least at the very least I'm getting paid. I might
Yep.
get my head taken off my shoulders, but I'm getting paid.
I
But it's not
agree.
the it's not even the case. So
I
why would
agree.
I mean like no? It's
I
So
fucked
look,
up.
let
agree.
me ask you a question, right?
Listen, I'll
Let
be
me ask
back.
you a question,
I'll
right?
be
Because
back in like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Okay, I
all
gotta
right.
do
Do your
something,
thing. Do
brother.
your thing.
so the funny thing, Doc, is that they say that like I was just saying, he was
Mm.
like, yo, if it's something got to be top dog, either it's got to be, for the fight, it got to be either the money, or the belt. Like I don't know nothing else because the money
Right.
comes from the seats and all that and the fans. So you can just say the money.
Right.
So what I'm saying is that, like what I was just saying, if you got a belt, something should override something
I
because it
agree.
can't be the same thing. You get what
I
I'm saying?
agree.
You can't be pursuing for the belt and then you like you just said about background. You
Yeah.
don't got a belt, so you don't got a belt now. So I understand your position now. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
you
yeah,
might
he, yeah,
turn
he,
into
yeah, he,
somebody
yeah, he gonna
mandatory.
be sick. Yeah, yeah, he gonna have to be a mandatory because ain't nobody gonna fight him
Yeah,
now.
you're
But
gonna turn into
the
somebody mandatory.
but we all agree and acknowledge that 154 is a deep division, right? So that's the reason why I'm not sure because let's look at it, right? So before Josh Kelly won, hell, even with Josh Kelly, let's say Josh Kelly, okay, he's the IBF champion now. I don't think that a Josh Kelly fight is more lucrative than a Fundora fight. I don't think a Josh Kelly fight is more lucrative than the Xander fight. Now, Bakram might have been more lucrative than a Bash Barao fight, who wasn't really known like that. But even you could even argue with a Bash Barao beating Jonas Tellus for the upset. That might,
Hmm.
so the reason why I'm saying that, and then not to mention Virgil Ortiz, and not to mention Jerome Boots, this was newly there. So yes, I agree that something should override, but I just think it was I could see where there was other options. Even the Keith Thurman, Keith Thurman or Israel Madrimov, who just fought with Bud. And shoot, I don't think Israel Madrimov would be scared of Bakram. I don't think Keith Thurman would be scared of Bakram. So I like Bakram, but I don't want to say it's justified to avoid him, but I could see why other fighters had other options. You know what I'm saying? Like, even to mention
Yeah,
with Erickson Lubin,
I
like,
think
because
that's a
remember
good.
Erickson Lubin, I'm not gonna, I don't know how you feel, but I don't think Erickson Lubin was scared to fight Bakram. I just think Erickson Lubin looked at it like, because remember Erickson Lubin was gonna fight Bakram, he was a mandatory, and then he pivoted and fought
Yeah,
Virgil. I don't think I don't think he would. I think Bakram would have beat Lubin, but I'm saying that I don't think Lubin is afraid of Bakram. I just think Virgil's a bigger name, so he's like, hey, I'm going towards Bakram. Remember, Virgil was offered the Bakram fight. He didn't fight Bakram, and he turned around and stole Bakram's opponent. Bro, Virgil, man, hey, Virgil beat.
but but that's the funny thing. That's what I was just saying. Like because Bachman had the belt and you went
Yep.
in for Virgil
Yep.
for the You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
for
I'm
nothing.
saying like
It went no belt for nothing.
yeah, no,
Hmm.
Virgil was for nothing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Lubin and Virgil was for nothing.
Yeah,
I'm agreeing with you. Yeah.
but if he would have fought Bachman, he'd have been fighting for a belt.
Right, but I mean, I guess he saw,
But that's it. I mean, it mean what we saying. So I
hmm
think that, like you said, I don't think that he was scared of Bachman. I just thought that he thought he can beat Virgil easier than Bachman.
I
I
see
thought
what you're
you know
saying.
what I mean?
Okay. I'm not gonna
You
lie,
get what I'm
and
saying?
I hope I'm not disrespecting Lubin when I say this, but I don't even think he thought about. I don't mean this disrespectfully. I don't think it is disrespectful, but I don't think that he thought about the outcome as much as the money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think he was
Yeah.
like, oh, I can't beat Bakram and I could beat Virgil, or I can't beat Virgil, I could beat. I really believe that he thought he could beat both of them. But I mean, that's hard. That's a hard one to sell. The way he got beaten by booped in 2 rounds or whatever. So maybe he did it. And you could be right. Also, maybe he looked at Bakram like, "Hey, I can't beat Bakram, but hey, maybe I have a better chance to beat Virgil. But at the same time, if I lose,
I
at
mean,
least I get paid
yeah,
with Virgil."
that's the only thing. Yeah, that's the only thing that could override like the belt. It's
Yeah,
like,
you
okay,
could be
you know
right.
what?
You could be
But
right.
yeah, going to Bachram is it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be a tough fight based on paper. They call it whatever it is. So
Yep.
he probably that's how I see it. Like, okay, if you didn't fight for a belt,
Yep.
knowing that if you grab that belt, then you got a little name, Lubin. If you grab that belt, you be somebody. So like you said, he might have went to Virgil because he got a bigger name.
Yeah.
You know, win, lose, or draw. He just didn't think that it was going to be like that.
Yeah, like
I know for sure if he would have thought it was going to be like that, he'd have fought Bachram. I know that for sure. But for sure, I mean, damn.
That was crazy.
You talking about
bro.
a bad decision? That was a bad decision, boy. I tell you, probably the red or green pill, shit.
I'm telling you. He said, "Get Juice Man Davis a name." Yeah, facts, pugilism. No, I wish you, Osa. Like, ain't no way, because that was a terrible decision. He should have took a break and then came back to the sport.
So now it's like you just said. It's like the roles reverse, right? Because Bachram had the belt, and now Josh Kelly got the belt. So Josh Kelly talking about, you know, he might not want to fight Bachram again. You know why? Because first of all, he gonna run the belt shit. For what?
True,
I just beat you. I know for a fact. It's like, for what?
True.
He ain't trying to go in there and run another 12 rounds. So it's like the roles reverse. And now, to be honest with you, like you said, when you just said that, I thought about it. I said, shit, Bachram could be deep down on the bottom right now, because first of all, you had a belt and nobody knew you. So it wasn't like you was. You get what I'm saying? Now you lose the belt, so nobody really don't know you now. You ain't even in conversation. You got to make phone calls.
Facts. Yeah, he extra shitty.
So
he's super
you got to make phone calls now.
He's super shitty.
You got to go get an ATT plan now. You ain't had no phone before.
Yeah,
you got to go get a plan now.
Oh yeah, he better hope that the IBF forces that mandatory. Cause if not, he dead. Who go fight Bachram?
That's the only way you get back in the limelight.
Ty, what's good, bro? That's a fact, man.
Oh, what's good, Ty?
Yeah.
My God, yeah. You just
what's popping? What's popping, Ty?
And not much. Chilling. Had to pop in and see what the brothers was talking about.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man. We was talking about, gosh dang, Devin and Xander, Shakur and Connor, and potentially Ryan. We talk about a whole bunch of shit. Right now, we talk about Bachram's future. Man.
Yeah, Bachram is looking slim. It's looking slim for Bachram right now. It's looking real slim.
Facts. Barrio.
I think the best thing he can do is go with that and try to get that rematch.
Yeah.
Because I think he got a good he probably got a good case of a rematch, man. Yeah. That should have been at least a draw. Huh? You don't think so?
He ain't getting it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
They try to get a rematch clause, but nah.
Kelly said, "I'm about to run with this belt and I'm out of here."
Out of there.
He better find himself a new promoter.
He ain't fighting Boots. He ain't fighting Bachram. Yeah, I think Bachram need a new promoter, man. No offense to the main event, but they gotta do something, man.
It's gonna be hard to promote. It's gonna be hard to promote Bachram because, like, I mean, just common sense is that you got a belt and you can't get a fight, and some people call you a boogeyman, whether you're a boogeyman or not. So right now, with the loss, they still ain't trying to fight you.
Right.
So you in a bad situation. Now, if you'd have decided they ain't got knocked out and all that, then it would have been a different ball game. But that ain't happening. So that ain't happening. So you kind of, motherfuckers really ain't fighting you now, especially somebody with some hardware with a belt. They ain't fighting you. Yeah,
because you're right. That's the worst combination because he still managed to look dangerous in a loss. That's tough.
Yeah, right. Shit, that's crazy. Yo, that's crazy, kid.
Oh man, because he got dropped. When he got dropped, It was a good counter shot, to be wrong, but it was like a flash knockdown. But then when he dropped Josh Kelly, he had Kelly in trouble. Irony in the building.
All holding and all that shit. So people, I want to see that again.
What'd you think about Xander, Ty, and Devin? Man, I was talking about earlier. I think you missed it. I was actually defending Devin and Shakur. I was saying that I think that they should float around right now as far as like divisions, because like people didn't give Devin any credit for being Brian Norman at 147, so they definitely won't give him credit for being Barrios or Louis Crocker or Rolly Romero, and Rolly Romero doesn't want to fight him. People might want to see Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. I don't know if they'll give him credit, but if he wins, but they'll want to see that because of rematch. And then Shakur is like at 135. If they ain't give him credit for Teofimo at 140, and they ain't give him credit for Zepeda, they definitely not gonna give him credit for Burataya and What's the other dude? Abdullah Mason and who else is a champ? WBA is vacant right now because Tank's the champion of recess. So I don't like Conor Ben and Shakur, but you know, might as well just float around. Oh, we got Treese in the back too. Oh, he gone. I just saw you, Treese. Join back. I just saw you, bro.
Yo, Doc. Say when you was boxing, right? When you was amateur boxing, you know, you got your amateur boxing shoes and shit. And you got the kind that you like to be in the ring to make you know what I mean. You like the comfortability of your shit, you know what I mean.
Yep.
So can you imagine somebody trying to force you to wear some uncomfortable shoes in the ring?
Talking about like Zuffa?
Yeah. Can you imagine some shit like that?
Yeah,
but I just say like it's crazy when people be talking because people don't know shit about boxing. Tell you, yo, did you hear Conor Ben interview with who he's talking to? Who was that? Is that Cigar Mouth?
Barack and the other guy.
Yeah. Did you
Oh, Akib Barack.
Yo, Conor.
Yeah, two guys. Yeah.
You gotta listen to that
I
one.
actually like this interview.
I missed it. I didn't catch it.
I kind of like it too.
It was a good interview.
Yeah.
It was on his ass and he stood his ground.
Nah, that nigga did that. He started that. You know, it's your kid. You know, when your kid know he did something wrong and started explaining this shit. And I'm listening to him. I'm like, yeah, all right, Conor Ben, I hear you. I mean, you my guy. I like your boxing style and all that, but you be on some bullshit and you talking some bullshit right now, man. Yeah. You know, you talking some bullshit. See, but I like
Tank Davis.
Huh?
You're referring to what he said about Tank Davis?
No, I'm referring to what he said about Shakur.
Okay.
See, I be knowing that trick talk because they be trick talking. I think Conor Ben talking about he want more money. He want more money because he talk like because you know because they got lips. So you can't. It's the First Amendment.
What he was saying was kind of valid though.
What
now,
he say?
Do I agree with all the shit he said? No. If he believe it, cool. You supposed to believe in yourself. But I'm coming down from 160 to 147. I'm already making concessions to come down here. You want the rehydration clause? Yeah. On first example, I'm gonna say no, but I want my concessions to be made too. You gotta come over here. I'll give you the rehydration, but you coming here.
Yeah. But I was talking about because 9 out of 10 is gonna be over there anyway, because Conor ain't gonna fight Shakur over here. He need every chance he can get. We all know that. And so you sitting there when he was talking, this is what I was talking about.
Opposed that. I mean, asking for a rehydration clause sounds like a person wanting an unfair advantage. Especially if you were on a record years ago saying that was corny shit when you're talking about another fighter.
That's true.
Tank Davis.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. I hear that.
Everybody looking for some type of advantage. I'm still gonna get mine.
That's what it is. So what I'm talking about with kind of Ben advantage, because he's looking for one too. He can't be the only one that's not looking for one. If everybody else looking for one.
True.
So we need to figure out what your advantage is, kind of Ben. You understand what I'm saying? And so I heard you say it out your mouth.
You want them
eggs. Sit there. You said Shakur 100% everywhere. If it was a video game, he'd be rated 100 in it. You get what I'm saying? You said all that. You said Shakur, you'll run through him. He can't. Everybody else fight him like this. I'm gonna fight him this way. I'm gonna do all this. I'm gonna do all that. But I need a rehydration course. Pay me for my rehydration. I think you meant to say pay you for your loss. That's what you should have said, because everything you said around that is about a loss. You ain't say nothing about winning at all. It sound good. It sound good. But you ain't say a word about winning. Everything you said was for the advantage of you. That's what you said. So you will either get your hydration clause or you get your money.
Him coming in there for a hydration clause is not something for advantage for him. And it wasn't him just sitting there talking about like a cash out. That's just strictly business right there. If you want this, you want to pay me for that.
I've been saying that ever since Shakur called them out. Everything got a price at the end. Everything got an advantage price, because only advantage is not about weight. Money is an advantage.
It's not like he just jumped out there with that. This person decided to put that clause in there out of nowhere. You called me out. Now you want to make these concessions for you? Bro, you want to pay me for that.
Now I gotta go watch it, because y'all got me.
It's simple business.
Y'all got me curious.
You know what? Because Conor Ben, listen, Conor Ben coming down. But he talking about coming to 147 now, so you don't need no rehydration clause to get paid for that. You running up and running back down. Why we gotta pay you because you want to run up over here, go fight Chris Eubank, you want to
Damn.
ride fly back
If you
down?
don't
Why
want
we
to pay
gotta
the
pay that
hydration
out?
clause, why don't you fight him straight up at 147? Since you said
Okay,
prior to
okay,
that,
well,
hydration
okay,
clauses was corny.
that'll work. That'll work. I agree with that. That I just said
You
that because
saying you're agreeing with that, but Shakur not.
no. I mean you talking. I ain't. You ain't talking for Shakur. I ain't his manager. We just trying to figure something out.
So y'all
I
would
would,
y'all would be cool with that fight, Connor and Shakur versus Connor? You like that
Yeah.
fight?
Not
me
really,
personally,
but I
Yeah, I
get
don't
it.
really care
me
Not
for it.
really,
personally,
but I get it. You know,
I don't get it. I don't get it. If I get it, they're gonna have me
money,
start
bro.
talking like these. Yeah, I know. They're gonna have me start talking like these casuals. I don't get it. Conor Ben ain't got no belt. He ain't got shit for Shakur. Nothing. Stay fight Dalton Smith, man, or somebody right there where
I
you
do
at.
like that. I do like that. I would prefer, you know, if it was up to me. Obviously, I would want Tank versus Shakur, but granted, that's not realistic right now. I would like even more than Shakur versus Abdullah, or Shakur versus who else is champion? Raven. I like Raven Murtaya too. I ain't gonna lie. I like Shakur and Raven Murtaya, but I like
Yeah, that's it.
I like Shakur and Dalton. If he stays at 140, I like Shakur and Dalton.
That'd
I
be
got a
to me
question for
that
you, Doctor,
I ain't gonna
regarding
hold you,
Caballero.
dog. I don't want to hear nothing about 135 with Shakur. If he really wanted anything to do with 135, he'd have paid his motherfucking fee that he agreed
That's
to.
true. That's true.
Yeah, yeah,
That's true.
we're talking about the WBC.
Yeah.
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 Oh God, we back on that,
The
man.
green
Anyway,
one.
but I'm saying,
I showed the little clause too, Ty, earlier. I showed the little 7.3b. Went to the rule book and showed that you got to pay, man. But I will say that they didn't give them the amount of time. Like I don't feel like they give them the appropriate amount of notification time for him to respond. But
Doctor, I have a question
so
for you
can I ask you a
regarding
question?
Caballero, but I don't know if we're ready to switch topics yet. So
no, what you say?
okay.
No, go
Now,
ahead, because I'm about to slide soon, man. I'm getting sleepy. What'd you say, Arnie?
Okay,
Sorry
I just
about Caballero.
want your take on what we should do next with Ajit is legit because
Hey,
Fabio and Triple D are fighting each other, obviously,
yep,
right?
for the
That's
WBO.
done.
Yep, that's a great fight, man.
So
Oh my goodness, I love that
me
fight.
too, me too. But I, for some reason, I feel like Caballero should be getting Fabio. You know,
I agree with that.
I just.
I agree with that.
So
I
where do
agree with
we
that.
go
But
from
that's
here?
they're all with Queensberry, man. I don't know what Uncle Frank got going on, but nah, I agree with that. But I think that I read this. I don't know if it's true, but I think it's a WBC, if I'm not mistaken. WBC is on Usyk's head top, stepping on his neck, saying he has to fight Caballero.
Yeah, because Usyk is fighting some kickboxer, right? He's fighting Rico Verhoeven, who
Yeah, something. Yeah, I
said
don't know if that's true. Is that finalized? I wasn't sure if that's finalized, but I did hear
no,
about that.
no,
But
it's like a
so the WBC, that's kind of the reason why what's his name, Wilder, and what's his name, Chisora, are fighting. Because remember, it was Wilder trying to get Usyk, but they said that Wilder had to get a fight in between, you know, and he went for Chisora, and then I read that they're kind of they're saying that Usyk probably going to vacate because they want Usyk to fight Caballero. And a lot of people think that Usyk won't do it because he's fighting the guy you just said. So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I definitely think Caballero needs a title shot. But at the same time, and maybe this is me, maybe it's not fair. I'll admit, but man, you gotta wait your turn, man. Usyk almost out of there, man. You got, hey man, let Usyk do his thing. You know what I'm saying? First undisputed champion in 25 years at the heavyweight division. Hey, bro, it's Usyk's time, man. Hey, you just gotta wait, bro. Be patient.
Is the jet being mandated?
That's what I heard. I don't know if it happened yet, but that's what I heard, Ty. So I can't say yes for
If he
sure.
is,
But
Usyk, I don't want to hear nothing about some kickboxer. The guy at the Kroger's. You need to fight this man.
that I agree.
You talking about you want to
Or
fight
drop it.
Wilder? It's the reason why he got this fight, so he can get ranked. You can get him afterwards.
That's true.
Ty, the reason why I'm not as upset as Usyk because I believe he's earned the right to do whatever the hell he wants to do. But my biggest problem is Fabio because you're getting a guy. Listen, I love the fight, but at the end of the day, he's coming off of an ass whooping loss, and this other guy is coming off of a win. You know, and you're giving a title shot somebody. We say this all the time about people getting title shots off of a loss, right? And a pretty bad one, right? So why is Fabio? I don't know. obviously they're two UK guys and whatever. They're gonna make a lot of money, but in reality, should be well. Yeah, I guess I should be upset with Usyk too, but I'm more upset with Fabio because you're getting a guy off of a loss instead of a guy off of a win. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
So it said,
just
no, yeah, I mean, you have a good point. It said Mauricio Suleiman confirmed. That's where I saw it on the Chris Mannix interview thing. But I also read the article too. But here's it says Mauricio Suleiman has confirmed to Chris Mannix the WBC's decision to make German heavyweight Ajit Caballero the mandatory to challenge mandatory challenger for Usyk's titles.
So. Oh, Usyk, you need to go fight that man.
Oh yeah.
The other UK bros, that's what happens when you got two guys that signed to the same promoter and the other guy is still ranked high enough for that fight to be cleared.
Well, this is what it says too. It says Caballero will likely not be next for Usyk. However, the order is for immediately after a voluntary defense. So they might let Usyk have this little, I guess the kickboxer wouldn't count as a voluntary defense. So we'll see. Might get complicated.
I mean, this guy is one of the GOATs and stuff like that. I've seen some footage of him. I've seen him sparring, I think, in Mayweather boxing gym. I could be wrong about that, but I've seen him sparring here and there. And he was gonna go to the UFC, but obviously Baldy doesn't pay them, so he decided boxing. So I don't know, man. It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah. Hey, Trees, pull back up. Trees, I saw you pull up and then you left. Maybe you got a phone call, but
well, Usyk's supposed to be fighting some kickboxer dude.
Yeah, rumors. Some Muay Thai
any fight he takes would be considered a defense. So that if he fights that guy, that would take up his voluntary. Anytime you don that ring, you're representing those belts that you wear. So that's a defense. It's counted.
Right, but I wasn't sure. Like, I don't know. I ain't looking into, so I read it. I ain't really do my research, my due diligence on it. So yeah, that's what I'm about to say. I'm not sure if it's official. That was my point next. So I don't know if he does it, it's the type of thing where it won't count or will count, or they'll strip him if he does it. I don't know if they gave him an ultimatum or what.
Exhibition.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't look into. I saw it. I just kind of shook my head and went on working or doing whatever I was doing. I don't remember, but I'll look into it and let you know.
I have another question to you, Doctor, but I guess I forgot. Here it is. What do you want to see Figueroa do next? Do you want to see Boltu, Shushu, Espinosa, or Leo? I want to see Shushu. I'm not gonna lie to you. I want to see Shushu, man.
I'm not gonna lie. I would, to be honest, I'm so glad Figueroa won, man, because obviously I like Figueroa. You know, I'm not the biggest Nick Ball fan, but I know Figueroa, he's not ducking no smoke. So I don't even care what he does because I know it's going to be good. But if I had a preference, if I had to pick between Shushu, Angelo Leo, or Espinosa, I would say I'm least interested in Leo and Figueroa. I like it too, but I'd be more, I don't know. It's a tie between Espinosa and Figueroa and Shushu and Figueroa. I'm not sure. I really don't. Yeah, I really don't have a preference. So whichever one he chooses, both those fights are great. So you prefer Shushu, you said?
You prefer Leo Espinosa? No. Do you prefer Leo versus Espinosa, or do you?
Ooh.
Oh shit, I forgot. Do you prefer Leo versus? I forgot what I was gonna say. I'm sorry.
Espinosa and B-Fig.
Yeah, I like
Leo
that.
can go to Shushu.
Oh, I like that too. That's good.
Okay.
I actually think that's a better matchup. Yeah, I think Fig and Espinosa and Leo and Shushu, that might be best. And then the winners get each other. That'd be fire.
Let's get some unifications going at 126 and 140, fellas. What do you say? Like, goddamn, when is
I'm
it gonna
telling you, bro. 126 is definitely. But I think the guy that was holding it up, man, gosh dang Nick Ball. So that's what I think. So he up out of there, man.
Mirko Cuello's been the interim for how long,
exactly. The Argentinian, right? The Argentine, right?
Yes, sir.
Exactly. He didn't fight nobody, man. He wants to fight bantamweights, man. Super bantamweights. He wants to fight 122s. He doesn't want to fight featherweights, man. Ball's a chump, man. And then it was Andrew Kane going there, following Nick Ball's footsteps and kicking. Who did he kick from Figueroa's team? I mean, from Figueroa's team. I don't remember.
Oh yeah, that was embarrassing, bro.
Come on, bro. Right.
And listen, they have a history of that shit. Now, I don't know if this was at the same place, but remember Marvin Hagler when he beat Alan Minter, bro? That he couldn't even celebrate. This was a while back, obviously.
Right.
but it takes me, bro, because reputation is there for a reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't like they were taunting anybody that I saw, right? They were celebrating,
Man,
bro.
they just
A
celebrated,
12-round
bro.
title victory by KO. I'll be celebrating harder, bro. I will
By
be celebrating
KO
harder.
in away. They were on foreign soil, bro. Like
Come
they
on,
traveled
man.
there. And they just
What
sore
do you want them
losers,
to
dog.
do? To act like fireballs here? Like, come
Right.
on,
They
man. What
just
are we
sore
doing
losers,
here?
man.
If the
That had
shoe was
nothing to
on
do
the
with
other
Team
side,
Figueroa. Exactly.
if the shoe was on the other side, homie, you already know.
Exactly. That had nothing to do with Team Figueroa, man. They just I'm not gonna condemn everybody in Liverpool. Just the ones that acted a donkey, they're just donkeys.
Right.
That is what it is. I still think the UK has great fans, but yeah, the ones that did it. And shout out to Manny Robles, man. Manny Robles was a stand-up guy, the way he reacted to it, and Brandon, of course, too. But Manny Robles, man.
He was holding his head like somebody hit him with a can on his head. I'm talking about Brandon with his gloves still on and everything, bro. Like they
Yeah.
wasted no.
Yeah.
Lucky
And Manny
Omar
Robles,
wasn't there.
Facts. Omar don't play
exactly,
no games.
exactly. But
Omar don't play no games.
You picked the
here's
right
the
brother to do
worst.
that too.
I'm telling you.
Well, here's the most
telling you.
egregious shit, bro. Like I saw Manny Robles after the fight,
Mhm.
and he said that. I mean, you guys obviously maybe have seen this more than I do, but I can't remember somebody like going into the what is it, dressing room or whatever, and they already had their hands wrapped, bro. What are we doing here?
Yeah, oh yeah. I
Did you
talked
see
about
that,
that.
bro? Like,
Yep. Yeah, Nick Ball already had the 10 reps. Yep. And not only that, they came late too. Mind yours says Shushu packing them guys up. You think so? Hey. But yeah, Nick Ball, they already had their hands wrapped, bro. Yep, I saw the interview. Manny Robles said that.
You guys ever heard that? I've never heard that before. Have you guys ever heard?
Yeah, oh yeah,
some shit like
I've heard
that
it before, but they usually insist on them redoing it and stuff. But yeah, but I think Nick Ball, I don't know what they came late, made them wait, and then still wrap their hands. Yeah, that's some sucker shit, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man. But fellas, man, I appreciate y'all pulling up, man. I'm about to go slide, give me some rest, bro.
God bless, bro. Appreciate
God
you.
bless y'all too, man. Oster, appreciate you pulling up. Irony, appreciate you pulling up. Ty, know what it is, man. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, man. Y'all be cool. How y'all be cool, man? Y'all gonna chill? I'm finna slide.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in here.
All right, bet. I might pull back up. Well, nah, I probably gonna take a nap. And the nap probably gonna turn to a sleep. It's 10:30. Yeah. All right.
So you're 1 hour before me then. Okay.
Yep. Yep. And I got a 3-day weekend too, so I'm gonna be chilling.
Doctor, tomorrow we got a jackpot versus the man that walks these earth.
Bro,
like
is it? I think it's Sunday, bro. I was mad. I don't think it's Yeah, Chris Martin goofy behind walking as I think it's Sunday, bro. I was mad about that. If I'm not let me look it up right now before I get off, because I was hoping for it tomorrow, and then I was at work too though, so I might have looked too quickly. No, it is Sunday. Yeah, Sunday at 6 o'clock. I was mad.
Shit, you're right, bro. Wow.
What the freak is on Sunday, man? What type of crap is that, man?
Are they doing this because they don't want to interject with the UFC?
UFC. That's what I think.
Or something?
Yeah. Because isn't Charles Oliveira fighting
Yeah, Holloway, bro.
Holloway, Max Holloway. Yeah, I'm not a big UFC guy, but I know about that. I know about the big fights.
Yeah, no.
Who's televising the fight?
The Charles Martin joint? It's Paramount. Yeah. Paramount Plus.
Oh, that's probably why.
Yeah, I think so. The Zuffa boxing joint. So yeah.
You don't want the two how do you say, markets to be at the same, whatever the case may be.
Cause they putting on both of those events. And like, hold on, we gonna get every dollar.
We up.
Exactly, bro.
All right, fellas, man. Appreciate y'all pulling up, man. I'm trying to be on more often.
Sir, anytime.
And kicking my ass. All right, bro. Yep. God bless y'all, man.
So now I can tell Irony about how his boy need to go to PC.
Talk to him. Chill on Xander, man. Chill on Xander. Oscar says, Shushu, the weakest champ in the division. Irony said, how can you get how you can get a title shot after a loss, but Shushu got a gimmick fight by who? WBC. That's true. That's true, Oscar. I will say this. No offense to Shushu. I like Shushu, but I will say that hear me out. Hear me out and tell me if you agree or disagree. Shushu's title fight was the weakest, right? Out of Espinosa WBO, right? Espinosa, not saying that he, we seen Espinosa fight Robisi. You feel me? Brandon Figueroa had to dethrone Nick Ball for the WBA. Angelo Leo had the KO of the year against freaking Luis Venado Lopez. Shushu fought Carlos Castro, who's a decent fighter, but he was coming off of a loss to Stephen Fulton. He was coming off of back-to-back L's. We got to call it how it is. So I think that I think Oscar has a point. Now, who wins 1v1? In my personal opinion, I think Oscar has another point. I think that I think Brandon Figueroa and Shushu is interesting. I think Shushu and Angelo Leo is interesting. But me personally, I would favor Leo Figueroa. I definitely favor Espinosa. I think Espinosa is the best at 126 in my personal opinion. But I would say that and I'm not saying that in a bad way. I think that the featherweight division is pretty good. But if I had to pick one to be the weakest link, I would say right now, until proven otherwise, I would say it'll be Shushu for me. I don't mean that disrespectfully, though. My brother Clone in the building, big member in the building. He said, "Could I call in?" Yeah. Call up. What's Ty will pull you up. I'm about to get off though. You can't call all the live. I'm about to everybody's in the back. Yeah, Ty will pull you up. Ty will pull you up if he sees you in the back. But yeah, I'm about to go ahead and slide, man. Appreciate y'all rocking as always, for real, man. Shout out to my brother. Shout out to my brother Oster for pulling up. Shout out to my brother Irony. Shout out to my brother Ty for pulling up. Shout out to my brother Oscar Perez and Mirana Canal. Hit me with a big dub, man. The 20 piece. I appreciate it. Shout out to George, the last Dragonborn. Hit me with the $2. I appreciate it, man. Y'all always showing me support. I apologize for the lack of shows and videos, but job been kicking my butt, man. But we still rocking, man. I thank God for it too. So we here, but hopefully we'll be here more often. Appreciate y'all. Y'all be easy. Take care of yourselves. Don't forget to smack that like button. But most importantly, remember with God, we can do anything. Without God, we're nothing. The doctor's out. Peace. Y'all be easy. Hey, free that boy Geechee Gotti, man. Free that boy Gucci Gotti, man. He out there locked up like Akon. That's tough, man. Shout out to my boy. I'm out, though. God bless. From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold, we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.